So I'm hoping this doesn't go too bad. Not gonna lie. Cause I had everything set up last night. I had everything set up last night. Then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, by the way, yeah, everything doesn't want to be set up anymore. The fuck is that in the background? I'm looking underneath me in OBS. Is that a little chat? Just a little chat? The fuck is it? Properties? The fuck is this? It is. Holy shit. I'm gonna hide you. Yes, this is like I actually have OSHA DVDs. And we're gonna play them through VLC. In which, for all I know, this might end fucking early because as I said, everything that I had was set up last night. Then I wake up and now it's not. And now I'm seeing that my model's no longer tracking. One of the many things. Just gonna go on. So we are going to start with, so the actual, like, I tried looking it up and I don't think you can find it anymore, but there's a brand of forklifts called Yale. Okay. And like in the past, I've trained people with Yale forklifts and I've gone through this training like 3 or 4 times before. Because they're like, "Ew, you need to do this." Okay, let me restart VTube Studio on my phone. But it is from Yale themselves, which is a brand of forklift. In fact, I'm gonna restart VTube Studio on my PC as well. Yeah. I'm gonna hope to also turn this into a video, but we're honestly just gonna have to see what happens. Show IP list where. So I use 2 different networks and I have to make sure that like they work, but it almost never wants to work. Yeah, I do dual streaming. But it is called Yale Handle with Care for class 1 through 5 forklifts. And on the back of it, it says Handle with Care for class 1 through 5 trucks, operator training, proper education in operating lift trucks minimizes the risk of injuries due to accidents while increasing productivity. Yale offers OSHA compliant materials that support the training of qualified operators. Yeah, everything's falling apart, dude. As I said, I had everything set up last night, and now it's just not wanting to work. Oh, now it wants to fucking connect. Okay. But, so there's 2 discs, mainly because they're 2 different. My god. OBS. What the fuck? OBS. 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 Am I alive? I still alive? I know my model's not alive. I'm literally about to just fucking cut out VTube Studio and just go to PNG. This was happening yesterday. It was happening the day before. I really don't want to deal with it today. Today is not a day I want to deal with it. Yep, cutting out VTube Studio. Real quick, you're gonna see a bunch of scuff because I'm fucking just grabbing shit. Copy, go back here, paste. And then I gotta join a VC. There we go. Also, this little PNG was actually made by Alfreya. Which I should have, well, this isn't gonna be in it, but I made a little Google Docy because, well, I'm not gonna go into full details on why I made it, but all of the references for like every single artist and rigger that I've worked with for my live 2D models is all in that Google Doc, and you can find it in the description on YouTube. Big cry, Google Docy, yeah, Google Docy. Okay, so there's two discs to this because there's two different types of lifts. And one of them is for class 1, class 4, and class 5, which is mainly the ones that you sit in, the forklifts that you sit inside and you drive. And then there's class 2 and 3, which is your narrow aisle reach truck. Sometimes a turret lift is also taught on it. And then there's also like electric pallet jacks. Usually you have to have some sort of forklift certification for those as well. Even though that at one of my previous jobs, they're like, it looks like you knew how to like use it. Meanwhile, it's like, this is the first time I've ever touched one of these fuckers. But before we start, a little bit of an introduction. Hello everyone, I am LMG, and I, in the past, my forklift experience is, yeah, usually. Hopefully it won't be too loud when the DVD starts playing. I think I can cut out OBS now. So I have been forklift certified for about, I'd say, 6-7 years now. And no, I'm not talking about fucking brain rot memes. And within that 6-7 years, I've been training people for like 4 or 5 years. And like I would actually put them through this type of training and everything. Yeah, shut up, 6-7. Let's see here. But I would also go through and review different incidents and whatnot. So like at some point I want to do a stream where it's going through random forklift power equipment incidents that you see, like all the fucking meme ones and everything. Where the fuck is this? Is it just go here? Disc play? I know I had this working the other day. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually gonna adjust this. Can I adjust? It's actually probably good like this. I don't know. Ugh. Gonna make it tiny real quick. mean you aren't supposed to do donuts with your forklift? No. Though I have. Dude, like at one of my past workplaces, we had it where like in the back lot, it was just flat concrete. And any time that it rained, we would just drive backwards outside of the warehouse really fucking fast and then swap it into drive, and we would just do a burnout for like a solid minute. Okay, so now the reason why I'm doing this, okay, reason why I'm doing this is one, education for everyone, but also I think, well, reword that. Also, I was handed this DVD at work and said, hey, LMG, so you know how you're in Australia, right? I'm like, right? You know how you are forklift certified in the US, right? Yeah. Um, so your certification for our company goes up on the 31st. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Um, so y'all are just gonna pass me off, right? In which at the current company that I'm with, I do not train people. So there's that. That is something to note. And they're like, well, legally speaking, technically what we have to have you do is have you come all the way from Australia to the US to then sit you in front of a screen and then have you watch these DVDs and us watch you watch these DVDs and then take a 10-question quiz that you've passed like 20 times in the past. And I said, so we're not gonna do that because that's a fucking waste. That is such a big waste of fucking money. Especially when, not gonna lie, I've been here for 6 months. I have not touched any power equipment. Not to be an OSHA shill, but there's a legit online forklift certification course you can take. Oh, well, we're doing what my company wants. Because I was told, or you can take this set of DVDs home. No, you're not forklift certified. You still have to do the physical test. But they gave me the option of, or, in which this is the only option I'm going to take because I'm not wasting the money to go back home. You can take these DVDs and you can watch them over the weekend while you're at home because we don't have a DVD player at work. The first thing was that I thought is, damn, this is going to take probably like 2 hours out of my weekend that I, like, granted, I could just be like, oh, I fucking did this. Is recorded proof of you getting certified? Yes, it's recorded proof that I actually watched these. Because I guarantee you, the people at work, they probably just went, eh, they gave us these DVDs, I'm not even gonna fucking say anything. But I am currently trying to work on getting towards my actual Australian license. Because the certain company that I work with, the contract with Australia, we have to have a certain type of certification, even though that I personally, I don't know when I will ever actually like properly drive any kind of power equipment. I think actually I drove a forklift for like a solid 2 minutes just because it was in the way of us doing something. But I did nothing else with it. But I guarantee you that if the guys that did this shit already watched these, they probably just fucking popped them into an Xbox or something and just fucking like started doing meal prepping or like playing games on their phone and shit. I thought instead of, hey, I'm gonna pop this in my Xbox and watch this, I'm gonna make content out of this. So we're gonna make fucking content out of this. And I'm also going to hope that this shit actually runs properly. Because I played it yesterday just a little bit to make sure that it works. But there's still no guarantee that this actually works. I doubt I'd have realized if you didn't point it out. Yeah. And also something to note involving this though. Making money twice. Hell yeah, brother. Except I don't make money off of YouTube. I need them hours. I'm actually a third of the way on the hours. You need 3,000 hours and I'm like roughly 900. So there's also something else to note involving this. I don't know how legal it is for me to share this on a live stream. So this might get taken down. Just being completely honest. So without further ado, let's get started. And I hope it's not too loud for you guys.
As an operator of a lift truck,
yes, you were
your
here.
job is critical to your company. You move raw materials in and finished product out. Welcome to the Yale Operator Training Program.
Yay!
Did you know that you're operating a powerful piece of industrial equipment? The Bureau of Labor Statistics show that operator training can reduce the number of industrial truck accidents. So, what's the difference between an untrained amateur and a trained professional lift truck operator?
I just want to note. Oh, look, that's a tar paper for roofing. So let's see. Okay, my mouse is showing up. So one, this is an iPad. It's kind of obvious. Look, it's the iPad with the button, and it like just notating the slot that's right here. It's probably the 30-pin connector. It's not a lightning. And note, look at the fucking bezel. Holy fuck. Something from 2010. This was made, or at least produced. Let's see here. I looked at the box yesterday. Yale Materials Handling Corporation 2013. All rights reserved. So this was produced in 2013. And we are now in the year of the Lord 2025. It's not really not allowed at all. Okay. Is it legal to share this? Fuck if I know. But we're gonna do it.
Starters,
if it doesn't want to glitch.
Professionals always safely operate the vehicle, and they have a complete understanding of what they're doing. A pro makes it look easy, but that's the result of paying attention on the job. Proper training, always following proper operating
I've never
procedures,
beeped when
and
going
hours of
backwards
practice.
in a open lot like that.
Professional lift truck operators always make vehicle checks in accordance
because nobody
with
should be
manufacturer's
immediately behind you
recommended daily
anyways.
checks before their shift. They check fluid levels, gauges and controls, hydraulics.
I fucking never did this shit. Checking under the lift? What are you fucking seeing? Yes, you're looking at the drive shaft. Ooh, there's a fucking drive shaft under the forklift. So you see this little lever right here? Well, first off, there's a little lever right here underneath the seat. What you do is you pull that, you pull it forward. there's like a little pin on the propane tank. You pull that and you slide the propane tank out. Okay. And then after you slide the seat forward, and sometimes you have to lift the actual steering wheel up, what you do is you slide the seat forward, slide the steering wheel up, slide the propane tank out, and then you see this little thing right here. You pull that, and then this entire section just comes up, and you are exposing the actual like engine and everything. Photo might be hiding there. Maybe. And also, I'm looking like, what the fuck is this red thing? I don't know what the fuck this red thing is. These are 2x4. Well, no, those are 1x6s.
And tire pressure.
Entire pressure,
professional
dude.
lift truck operators also protect themselves.
Depends on.
This means you.
Depends on the lift, but the wheels, like what tire pressure? There is no tire pressure that you're checking. You just look and see if the wheels are fucking bald. I don't think many places don't have the propane tank forklifts anymore. Oh, I see them all the fucking time. In fact, I see some retail stores back home that have gasoline. They straight up have gasoline forklifts and diesel forklifts. I'm just like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Granted, I do see electric like this. This is a it depends on what they want to call it, but it's called an order picker. I used to be certified on these, but I never trained anybody on them because it was already weird enough for me to train on it, but I knew how to drive it and everything. These are really fucking weird. Why is gas diesel forklift bad? Propane's cheaper and it lasts longer. But I will note that the connections for the propane tanks, they are also very dangerous. So, like one time when I was changing one of the tanks, first of all, technically, according to OSHA and everything, OSHA DMCA, technically, according to OSHA, where the propane tanks are stored, you're supposed to have 0-degree gloves. Do you see more gas or diesel? I mean, they kind of both sound the same. It's just like, usually you can hear a difference. That's usually what it is. But one time when I was changing one of the tanks, I didn't put on the 0-degree gloves. And the tank I was using to replace the empty one had a bad connection. And I turned it on. It sprayed out liquid propane. And I looked at my hand, and it's like, I'll admit, like y'all have seen my hands before if you've seen like my cooking streams and like me posting shit on like Twitter and whatnot. Like my hands have like just a little bit of a tan. Back then they were really tan from just me working outside all the time. Nowadays I kind of don't really. But I'm white. But when I say it was actually this white, like this dude's shirt white, and it was that white for like a solid 2 minutes because my hand actually froze solid and my knuckles didn't feel normal for like 2 days. So I almost lost my right hand. But whenever the connections are actually good, which I think all the different services that replace all those tanks and service the forklift should check all the seals and bearings and everything. Because I swear to God, they fucking don't. One, you should always have 0-degree gloves. Two, check the fucking seals. I don't know how well you can check the seals, but holy fuck, I've had so many tanks just leak on me. But that was the first time it ever happened, and it was so fucking bad. Circulation was screwed for a bit, but humans built tough. Hell yeah. But this right here is an order picker. So here you have the steering. So what it usually is let's see here. Does it is it zoomed out or something?
Trained
I want to see if it's
professional lift
zoomed
truck
out.
operators also.
Yeah, just a little bit, not really. I kind of want to see if this is like zoomed out later on, but this is the steering wheel on it. And this is the actual, like, you go forward and backwards. That red is a stop button. That's the key for it, which, not gonna lie, for Yale, like, every single power equipment that Yale has uses the same fucking key. I don't know why. I see there's a ballistic glass here or some shit. The one that I had was a cage. It was not glass. And I think it's stupid to have glass. But you can see the safety light, and then you have the tether bar. You tether yourself to this thing, and you actually stand while driving it. And there's like a little foot plate that you put your foot on, and it detects that you're actually on the lift. Now, one thing that I think is so fucking stupid about this lift, okay? When you're driving, sometimes, like, believe it or not, in some stores and some warehouses, they try to enforce speed. And sometimes your lift actually comes with a speedometer. Any of these that I've seen in person have a speedometer. Like, this is a speedometer. You want to know what's dumb about this, though? Where are you standing? You're standing right in front of it. And your eyes are like right here, looking this way? How the fuck are you looking at this? Like, explain to me. It is so poorly designed on this. It'll tell you the charge because this thing is electric, and then it will tell you how much time it's been ran, and then it will tell you the actual fucking speed that you're going. But this is the steering wheel. So you turn it left to go left, turn it right to go right. Yeah, it's a literal oversight. And I see new ones of these come out, and their speedometer is still right there. And if this zooms out, you'll see how small the fucking platform is that you have to stand on. So it's not even like, oh, you'll just stand back. You can see it, which, yes, you could. But the platform is like only at most like 2 feet. You're not going to stand back 2 feet and see that. But with this thing right here, as I said, this is the actual drive, like forward and backwards. So on here, you can't really see it, but it's got a little lever and it stays in the middle. And with your thumb, you lift it up to actually move the entire thing and the platform that you are standing on up. And this thing can go up. Like, I've been in my warehouse, one of my warehouses before, and it's about, I'd say, like 100 feet high. And I've been able to, like, put this safety fucking heading, whatever you want to call it, I've been able to put this on the rafters and push into the rafters. Like, you are going high up there. You are going very high. And then you put, so that's what happens when you push the lever up with your thumb. When you push it down, it goes down. If the person driving is fat enough, yeah, it's oversight. That's oversight. Well, I've seen a bunch of fat people drive these things, so. And then also on here, when you're holding it with your index finger, there's a trigger, like an actual gun trigger in a sense, and that is your horn. You use that and it goes beep beep. And obviously you have the actual harness, you have the tether. That's the tether bar. You can apparently have 2 people on these things. Like, it's legal. According to OSHA and everything, it is completely legal. But whenever you have a second person tethered, you do not tether them to this outside bar with you. You tether them to this actual, like, security outside bar. The initial person, the actual driver, gets this fucking welded on beam, and then the secondary person gets this thicker bar. Or you can both be secured to this thicker bar. I never really had a proper discussion with a couple people, but I'd only ever also seen one person on these. I've seen 2 people on these once, and I have actually been a second person on one of these before, but that was literally because, like, I had to install something on some racking, and I was the only person at the time that knew how to install that racking. But at the same time, I wasn't certified on this. All right.
To protect themselves. This means
Come on.
using operator restraints and fall protection equipment and making sure they're in good working order.
You ain't checking shit.
Making sure
put that bitch on.
Secured and
so what he was doing right there is checking the tether, obviously. I would never check the tether like that. I would look at, so sometimes there would be a little stitching, in which I'm trying to see. I don't really see the stitching. But if that stitching is gone, that means that somebody actually fell off of it. And I'm not talking like, oh, they kind of like small fell off. No, that means that they actually fell off the entire platform, like while in the air. So anytime that I've checked these tethers, I would put this harness on. I would look at the stitching before putting the harness on, and then I would pull it really fast, because you can have retractable and non-retractable ones. I've had retractable. So I would just pull it really fast and then just hang there. I would just be hanging there like a little bowling ball. And I was like, yep, I think it works. I trust this.
Overhead guards are intact. You'll learn about these and other safety precautions later in this program.
Why the fuck are you checking that?
And while we can show you how to operate your truck safely and professionally, it will be up to you to follow these rules every day. By practicing and applying them on the job, you'll always operate the lift truck safely, and you'll be a trained professional lift truck operator.
Hell yeah.
It's important that you know the class of truck you'll be operating. You should never operate a lift truck unless you've been trained, evaluated, and certified to operate it safely and properly. Let's take a look at the different classes of trucks. Class 1 trucks include 3- and 4-wheel counterbalanced electric sit-down and some stand-up rider trucks. Counterbalanced trucks get their name from the counterweight at the back of the truck that enables it to lift heavy loads. Class 2 trucks
AKA, how fat is your dumpy?
Narrow aisle straddle, order picker, and turret trucks. These trucks.
So I have been involving, like, online wise and everything. I don't know why they would. I don't know how they would. But I've been certified on a turret truck, but I've never seen one before. I think I've only ever seen it in training. But this is that order picker that I was talking about. Like, look at how small that fucking platform is. That's the little pedal that you put your foot on. And it's kind of the same controls for the narrow aisle reach truck, except with this, for the order picker, you actually go physically up with it and down with it. Meanwhile, this, for the narrow aisle reach truck, you stand in here and then the forks actually go up themselves. Then on the turret, you sit down on it. But as I said, I've never seen or... No, it doesn't shoot. It'd be fucking hilarious if it did. But I've never seen one of these before. So, only in training.
Trucks are electric powered.
Those narrow aisle reach trucks are funny.
Class 3 trucks include walkie, high lift reach walkies, and walkie rider electric motorized hand trucks. All class 1, 2,
I've only used
trucks
walkies before.
Are powered by a large industrial battery.
I've been trained on a couple of the other ones, but otherwise
trucks,
never seen them.
By an internal combustion engine. Class 5 trucks are sit-down counterbalanced pneumatic tire trucks powered by an internal combustion engine. The engine and drivetrain on sit-down rider trucks are similar to those on a car, but that's where the similarities end. Don't make the mistake of thinking that a lift truck and a car operate the same way. For example,
it kind of does.
Trucks have an accelerator and directional control combined into one pedal.
That's such a stupid design.
But Class 3 and some Class 2 trucks have an overhead guard, which helps protect the operator from falling objects. You should never operate any truck which requires it.
Bro, dude, one time when I was working at an old job, we were moving some cinder blocks, and one of the dudes I was with, he picked up a pallet of cinder blocks that was like the third stack on top of each other. He picked it up and the entire first row of cinder blocks, so like 4 or 5 cinder blocks, just fell over. And one of them landed straight on here. Luckily it broke up small enough, and dude had a big ass afro on, and he was wearing his hoodie, so it kind of just bounced off. But he was like, dude, that was scary as shit. Oh, the cinder block, I thought it would be hammers that would fall through. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, he had a cinder block come up and fucking slam straight down on top of this grate. Hell, one of them actually went through right here, but it never actually hit him. It bumped the steering wheel and then bounced off. But this, like, I appreciate this, but this shit doesn't really do anything when you need it to.
An overhead guard without one. The front of the truck is where you'll find the mast and carriage that lifts and lowers loads. Never allow anyone to stick their hands or any part of their body into the mast. A lift truck
when you're lifting,
with masts
you can hold the brake and hit the gas and it'll go up faster.
The carriage are the forks. The forks are for lifting and lowering loads, not for pushing or pulling loads. Never allow anyone to stand on them so they can be lifted. The carriage moves up and down the mast as the load is raised and lowered. The carriage has a load backrest extension to keep the load from falling backward into the operator's compartment. Some masts are designed with free lift capabilities. Free lift is the distance the forks can be lifted before any part of the mast extends above the top of the mast channel. A free lift mast is particularly important when operating inside a trailer.
Oh my god.
Lift trucks have 2 basic types of tires.
Why would you do that?
And pneumatic. Cushion tires are made of solid rubber or polyurethane.
In that one clip back there was a dude in a trailer. And what he was driving was a narrow aisle reach truck. And where I was saying that narrow aisle reach trucks are funny, they only have one wheel. Like they have multiple wheels. but they only have one drive wheel. So if that trailer is uneven and you cannot get that drive wheel back on to the ground, that reach truck is stuck on that trailer. Which anyone that's ever dealt with fucking trailers before, none of them bitches are even.
And are used on smooth indoor surfaces. Pneumatic tires are filled with air and are similar to car
Not
tires.
always.
They're used mostly for outdoor applications
I've
because
never
they
seen
help
one of these
provide
filled
better
with air.
ride and traction
They've always
on
been filled with
uneven
foam.
surfaces.
They're always
Now,
solidified.
let's review 3 important informational components found on every lift truck: the operating manual, the nameplate, and warning labels. The operating manual provides important information on the proper operation and maintenance of your truck. Since there are many differences
My company would
between
take
lift truck
away the
classes,
operating manuals
it's important that you study,
because they
know,
just
and
get soaking
understand
wet
the
on the
operating
lifts
manual before operating
because
your
we
truck.
work all outside.
Any truck with an attachment must also have an instruction manual for that attachment. The attachment manual must stay with the truck at all times. Every lift truck is equipped with a nameplate. On the nameplate, you'll find the truck model and serial number and the lifting capacity, which is the maximum load a lift truck can safely handle. The second column shows the fork height. This is the maximum distance from the floor to the top of the forks when lifting a load. The third column tells you the horizontal load center of a maximum capacity load. The horizontal load center is half the length of the load. For this truck, the horizontal load center is 24 inches, meaning the truck's capacity is based on loads 48 inches by 48 inches. You'll also find the tire
So
type,
just a standard
size,
pallet
and pressure,
that you're going to find.
and any fork or attachment information on the nameplate.
Because standard pallets are 4 by
On
4
electric trucks, you'll find the battery size along with minimum and maximum battery weight. The location of the nameplate varies from
That's
truck
that
to
drive
truck.
wheel that I'm talking about.
Check your operating manual for
That is
more
the only
information.
drive wheel on this entire thing.
Every lift truck is also equipped with warning labels. Refer to the operating manual to identify these labels. If any of these labels are missing or damaged, report it to your supervisor. Now
No,
let's take a look at
I'm
some
never
differences
reporting it to my
between lift
supervisor.
trucks and cars.
We've had this shit
Unlike
covered
a
in
car,
fucking
a
paint
lift
and
truck is
concrete
rear
before.
steer.
I'm
That
not
means
reporting
the
it to
back
supervisor.
end swings out when you turn. When the truck is empty, most of the weight is in the rear and the risk of a tip over is greater. And unlike a car, there are no shock absorbers or springs on a lift truck. So go slowly over uneven surfaces and avoid bumps, damaged concrete, and debris.
Dude, I would go
When
full
the lift
speed
truck
over
is
fucking
carrying a
runners
load,
on that came
load
off
may
of pallets.
restrict an operator's line of sight.
That was
If it
fun.
does, travel in reverse.
Some of those
Stability
lifts can
is a
go like
major
10 to 20
concern when
miles an
operating
hour.
a lift truck.
You're just
On a
going
lift
10 to
truck,
20 miles
the
an
weight
hour
of
and
the
then you go
load
over a
must
fucking
be
stick
balanced
that's
by the weight of
4
the
inches
truck.
thick.
The key factor affecting stability is called center of gravity, or CG. Lift truck balance can be easily understood if you think of a seesaw. Remember when you were a child? If you and a friend
Remember
about
when
the
you were a
same
child?
weight
No.
sat the same distance from the middle of a seesaw, it would be balanced.
I gained sentience
However,
after high
if one
school.
of you moved farther from the center of the seesaw, you would change the balance. And if a heavier child is put on one end of the seesaw, the same distance away from the center as the smaller child, balance is also shifted. The same thing can happen to a lift truck. If you try to lift a load heavier than the truck's maximum capacity, the back of the truck could lift off the ground.
This shit is always fucking hilarious when it happens. Because I would see some people try to lift like 2 pallets at a time. And I just look at them like, you fucking dumbass. And like, they lifted up just enough. And they're able to drive it. And they don't realize till it's too late when they're already backed out of the spot that they're in with 2 pallets, that these these front wheels are the drive wheels. They're 2-wheel drive. And then these are for steering. They don't realize until they're already backed out that it's like, wait, my ass is up in the air. Or the lift bars could break and you're really fucked. True. Luckily, I've never seen that happen. I've seen forklifts almost go sideways. Where I was talking about people drifting forklifts. Yeah, I've almost seen people, while trying to drift forklifts, they would go on 2 wheels sideways. And I look at them and I just tell them, don't fucking do that again. Sandbags are fun. This sandbag is like 2,000 pounds. This is a 4,000 pound lift, probably. Sand powers the wheels. Forklifts doing donuts in a parking lot. Yep. Come on.
That is very dangerous.
Something to note is that
remember,
if you have a sense of your own balance, especially if you're really good at telling your own balance, when you're sitting in the lift, usually when you're bearing something, you can feel the actual center of gravity.
The rear wheel for 3-wheeled lift trucks, or the pivot point between the rear wheels for a 4-wheeled lift truck. The combined center of gravity of a loaded truck must stay within the stability triangle to prevent the truck from tipping over.
Aren't donuts or drifting super easy? Not really.
Of gravity within the stability triangle, a lift truck without a load has less side stability when it is turning, and a lift truck with a load has less forward stability when it is moving forward. Remember, the stability of a lift truck is affected by load weight, size, type, and the height the load will be lifted. Trained professional operators know that it is their responsibility to make sure that the load is secure and correctly placed on the
Where are your
Unstable
forks?
or excessive loads
Why are you
can also cause a lift truck to tip. It is also important
That was
to
so
check
dumb.
the position of the load. If a load is elevated or shifted to the side of the forks, the truck becomes less stable.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Oh my god. Okay. So, the first problem that I had. Okay. Let's back it up just real quick. Okay. So, yes, you can like move and everything with your forks up in the air. But like you should technically lower your forks all the way down to the ground and then move backwards if you do not feel comfortable with how far back you are from your target spot. And then dude almost just straight up shanked the racking. I'm just saying, usually, especially at this, like, dude, your eye level, you can see that these forks are not going to go in here. Bro almost fucking shanked the racking, which would then knock this pole off, which usually, depending on how secure this pallet is, it would either get fucking caught by the forks, or everything on this entire rack is going to fall, knock out this side support, knock out everything on top, knock out everything behind it. Oh my god. So to me, I'm just like, what a fucking dumbass.
If a load is elevated,
which I have seen that happen before.
Side of the forks, the truck becomes less stable. Remember, load should be against the load backrest before traveling. When traveling with a load, have it centered on the forks. Keep
you don't have to have it against the backrest, that's just a recommendation.
Make sure the mast is tilted back. Other important factors that affect the stability of your truck include accelerating, braking, turning, and operating on a ramp or uneven surfaces. Always drive slowly when turning and use
No.
extreme caution whenever accelerating, traveling at high speeds, braking, or operating on a ramp. These lift truck movements may cause the center of gravity to move outside the stability triangle and cause...
This dude's over here trying to look. Where the fuck are you looking? You have cheese or whatever the fuck this is blocking your way on both sides. Unless you are ducking down to here. I see your fucking point of view. Unless you're ducking down this far, you are not looking at who is on either fucking side. And going beep beep, yeah, that's not all you need to fucking do. Lay that shit down. Fucking blow that horn for a minute if you want to.
Tip. If your
Though I will say you will
rider
be
truck is
literally
tipping
the
over,
worst warehouse
never
worker.
try to
Because
jump
everyone
out of
hates
it.
somebody that does
You
that.
simply won't have time to jump away from the truck.
Yes, that also
particularly
shouldn't be how the
overhead
warehouse is set
guard.
up.
Instead, hold on to the steering wheel, lean away from the direction of the tip, and brace your feet for the impact. This, combined with wearing your seatbelt, will help you stay in the truck where you have a much better chance of avoiding serious or fatal injuries.
I want to see them. He was looking away from where. Yes, he was also looking away from where he was turning. Dude, like, what the fuck is he doing? I want to see. So it's actually probably. Ooh, it might be in the other DVD. I want to see what they say in this one for the training for narrow howl reach trucks and order pickers. Oh my god.
Should be treated as partially loaded. Attachments affect stability by changing the truck's capacity rating and load center. Make sure the name.
But yeah, on forklifts, if you feel it tilting away, what you do is secure your feet to the base, hold onto the steering wheel with dear life, and then lean, like, basically scrunch yourself up tight and lean away from where it's falling.
If you have any questions about the proper operation of your lift truck, refer to the truck's operating manual that's supplied with your truck, or talk to your supervisor. Now your trainer will lead you in the practical training portion of this program. Listen to your trainer and ask questions if you don't understand.
I'm your trainer, bitches. What the? It's just fucking cut them off. Taking notes like you're back in school. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, so where it was talking about the falling of the actual forklift and everything, that is correct. Luckily, I've never personally seen that happen. But I wanted to show the procedure for if a narrow aisle reach truck is falling. Because I think it's fucking hilarious in comparison to everything else. Like, everything else, the order picker's a little bit questionable. But then again, I mean, you're fucking tethered to it, so what else are you gonna fucking do? But with the narrow aisle reach truck, you're not secured in there. There's no belt. You're just standing there. There's no tether. There's no belt. So what do you do if the narrow aisle reach truck starts to fall? What do you do? Hold on tight? Scrunch yourself up into the little cabin that they give you? No. What you do is you fucking run. They just straight up tell you, get the fuck out of there. Jump out of that bitch and start running. I think that was the funniest part in any kind of training that I've done involving lifts. Okay, class 145 truck. And yeah. What are the big fuckers with the hydraulic arm called? Are they still called forklifts? With a hydraulic arm? Talking about the fuck, there's no way for me to show it. Unless it shows at the beginning of this. Let's see if it start showing. DVD.
Earlier in this program, we briefly covered Class 1, Class 4, and Class 5 lift trucks. Now let's take a more detailed look at them. Class 1 electric counterbalanced trucks use a large industrial battery that supplies power to the traction
They weren't on the
and
list.
hydraulic motors.
It may be in the other DVD. I don't know.
The counterbalanced truck you will be operating.
There's 2 DVDs that we're going through.
On make and model. Take the time to familiarize yourself with your truck's.
I've never personally seen one of these with like this entire fancy keypad shit.
Controls.
Like I've seen it, but I've never used it, so I don't even know what the fuck this shit is.
Truck.
Like, what is this for?
Questions about the gauges, controls, and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor. Stand-up counterbalance trucks are designed to operate in
this thing. The front end is like a forklift, but it's a big vehicle. Talking about this, because on the front of this looks like a forklift, and it's you can there's a little trigger, and it'll extend out, and it can go like all the way up if you really wanted to. But right here on his left foot, there's you can't see it, but there's a little trigger that you stand on top of. And then there's a little steering wheel. There's a speedometer and an hour meter on here. Over here is going to be the actual charger for the battery. That's what that little thing is hanging out, I think. And then in his right hand is the actual control. They can also usually lift like 20 feet up because of the hydraulic arm. Dude, with these bitches, I can go up like 100 feet.
In tight areas, such as loading docks. Their operator's compartment and their controls are different from other.
I will note I've never operated one that's this big. Like it would cut off right
body inside the operator's compartment when you're operating the truck.
I've seen them in person, but otherwise I've never driven one. It's always been snubbed off.
The only exception is in a tip over or off-dock accident. If your stand-up truck is tipping over, exit it immediately. Whether operating
okay, so
down or stand-up counterbalance truck is tipping.
So he was talking about it. It like the instruction is just exit immediately.
Complete stop. The only exception is in a tip over or off-dock accident.
Oh,
if your stand-up
what was he saying?
Supplies power to the traction and hydraulic motors. The gauges, controls,
not gonna lie, I wasn't fucking listening.
Counterbalanced truck you will be operating
telehandlers
depending on make and model. Take the time to familiarize yourself with your truck's controls and be sure to read the operating manual for your specific truck. If you have any questions about the gauges, controls, and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor. Stand-up counterbalance trucks are designed to operate in tight areas, such as loading docks. Their operator's compartment and their controls are different from other counterbalance trucks. Always remember to keep your feet and body inside the operator's compartment when you're operating the truck. Don't step off the truck until it comes to a complete stop. The only exception is in a tip over or off-dock accident. If your stand-up truck is tipping over, exit it immediately. Whether operating a sit-down or
so yeah, just exit immediately.
Truck,
just get the fuck
to
out.
Operate the truck only from the approved operating position. Never have your body, hands, or feet outside the truck while operating it.
I'll stick them outside all the fuck I want.
Truck, never let anyone try to increase the counterweighting by getting on the back of your truck. Lift trucks are designed to lift the maximum capacity listed on the nameplate.
Bro, every once in a while, especially like there was a summer that we were working outside and it was just hot as fucking balls outside. Like it was 110 outside with 100% humidity. And every once in a while, what we would do is, like, out of sight from any of the cameras, like, there would be just enough room for us to put our feet on here, and we would just grab onto the propane tank that would usually sit right here, and just have our feet in the little holes, and we would just ride on the side of the building. It's like, I am not walking in 110-degree heat all the way to the back of the building just so that your ass can have a fucking spotter on the inside.
Trying to increase the counterweighting to lift a load heavier than the maximum capacity is dangerous. Now let's look at the proper way to pick up a load from the ground. First, make sure your forks are positioned square to the load and lowered. Then, slowly drive into the pallet.
Battlefield
Next,
infantry riding
raise the
vehicles
load
logic.
6
Yes.
to 8 inches off the ground. To lift, you pull the control towards you. To stop lifting, release the control and it will...
What does this dude's tattoo say? I really want to know. I really want to know. But also involving the pallet 6 inches off the ground. Dude, I would see so many people go through training and they would do all the physical training and shit. And yeah, carry is 6 inches off the ground. I would hear and see people say that and do that and whatnot. But in actuality, what they'll do is they'll lift up the pallet like a foot up in the air and be like, oh, why can't I see in front of it? Well, no fucking shit, because guess what? The pallet's now blocking your fucking view. Lower it down a foot.
Return to the center neutral position. Tilt the load back by pulling the tilt control towards you. To tilt forward, push the tilt control forward. To stop tilting, release the control and the control will return to the center neutral position. Now let's go over the proper way to place a load on a rack. Always approach the rack straight on until the load is just a few inches from the rack. Tilt the mast forward until it is vertical.
So this is why. So I have a problem whenever they say, I have a problem anytime that they say, make sure that the pallet is all the way back against your mast. Okay. Because, especially with your good, like if you're very good at depth perception and everything. Okay. Yes, I agree. If you are going a long distance and whatnot, yeah, bring the pallet back and tilt it backwards, and the entire fucking load will just rest against this. Okay? Now, when this dude was turning, does he know where the the tips of his forks are? No, he doesn't. He doesn't see that. Did you notice that he almost fucking took out this? Or this pallet? Like, he could have fucking taken out either of these.
On until the load is just a few inches from
Look
the
at that.
rack. Tilt the mast forward until it is vertical. Raise the load.
Well, Grant, my head is actually the way.
Be sure you have enough clearance all around the load.
But yeah, this dude almost fucking took out this entire set of racking.
Be careful not to hit the rack with the truck or load. When the load is safely in the rack and centered, lower the load so that the forks clear the load and pallet.
And also where he's talking about, like, you never hit the rack with the fucking forklift and whatnot. Dude, if you have the pallet at the tip of your forks, and you know it's at the tip of your forks, you will literally be able to place it wherever the fuck you want, and you will never have to worry about the lift actually hitting the rack.
Behind you and pull straight out. When the forks are clear of the rack, Lower the forks 6 to 8 inches above the floor, tilt the mast back, and you're ready to travel. To take a load from a rack, approach the
Let's
rack
take a
straight
load.
on until the forks are just a few inches from the rack. The forks should be set as wide as possible for stability. Tilt the mast until it is vertical. Raise the forks and insert them into the pallet until the load is against the load backrest. Be sure the forks are at least 3/4 under the load. If the forks stick out from under the far side of the
3/4
load,
of what?
be sure that they will not catch on or topple other pallets or racks. Lift vertically until the
Why'd
load
you have
clears
to
the
jump
rack.
cut right there?
Then tilt the mast back slightly
What
to
did you fuck
stabilize
up?
the load. Check behind you and back out slowly while looking in the direction of travel. Once clear of the rack, lower the load 6 to 8 inches off the ground, then tilt the mast back for traveling. Class 4 includes sit-down, counterbalanced, cushion-tired trucks that are powered by an internal combustion engine. These engines are fueled by gasoline,
This is what I mainly drove.
liquid propane, LP, compressed natural gas, or diesel fuel. Because of their exhaust, these trucks require adequate ventilation. The operation of an internal combustion engine lift truck
Not
in a
much, it's just
closed
fucking
environment
propane.
can create a very dangerous buildup of carbon monoxide fumes. These fumes can cause serious injury or death. Carbon monoxide is clear and odorless. If you experience any symptoms, such as headaches, nausea, dizziness, or sleepiness, shut down your lift truck, leave the area, and report it to your supervisor. Check with your supervisor for your company's truck operating and refueling policies. Because they use cushion tires, Class
Check with your company for the refueling policy. That should be something that's in standard OSHA training. Granted, I understand that different companies do different things different ways, but the actual like operation of fueling and defueling, that should be a standard thing. That is a hazmat thing. That is controlled by OSHA. That is not controlled by your company. That is controlled by OSHA. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
4 trucks should only be operated on smooth, solid floors, not on unpaved or rough surfaces.
I would run this shit in
The
fucking
gauges,
gravel.
controls, and features of the counterbalanced truck you will be operating varies depending on make and model. Take the time to familiarize yourself with your truck's controls and be sure to read the operating manual for your specific truck. If you have any questions about the gauges, controls, and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor. Class 5 includes sit-down, counterbalanced pneumatic tire trucks that are powered by an internal combustion engine.
So essentially the same exact fucking thing as the last one. This is literally going to be the same exact thing, except on this one right here, you can see that it's either gas or diesel, or it may be propane and just contained. So this lift right here is probably, so this one right here is maybe about 4 or 5,000 pounds. This one is probably 10 to 15. I've driven one that's 20.
Like Class 4 trucks, these engines are fueled by gasoline, liquid propane, LP, compressed natural gas, or diesel fuel. However, unlike Class 4 trucks, these pneumatic tire trucks are designed for outdoor use on rough or semi-unimproved work areas. The gauges, controls,
Yes,
and
2,000
features
pound
of the
counterweight.
counterbalanced truck you will be operating varies depending on make and model. Take the time to familiarize yourself with your truck's controls and be sure to read the operating manual for your specific truck. If you have any questions about the gauges, controls, and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor.
No.
No matter which truck you operate, be sure it's in proper working order. Inspect it completely before every shift. Refer to the truck's operating manual for proper inspection procedures. Check with your supervisor to see if your company has its own inspection procedures. Begin your inspection by walking around your truck to check for obvious physical damage, like loose parts, loose or worn hoses, or fluid leaks on the floor.
I can't tell you how many times I've fucking reported that there's damage on the hydraulic lines, which that's what these, like the solid lines right here, those are hydraulic lines. You can see that there's a chain, but then there's solid lines. Those are hydraulic lines. I cannot tell you how many fucking times I've reported that there's damage on hydraulic lines. And I worked for that company for like 2 years. And nothing happened. So it's literally one of those things, just let it happen until that fucking line explodes. Because nobody gives a shit. Because it's still operational, I'll admit.
Make sure the overhead guard, load backrest extension, and operator protection equipment are properly attached. Check the tires. If they look low or damaged, report it to your supervisor. Make sure the forks are properly attached and that the locking clips are in the proper position. Check for cracks and excessive wear. Pay special attention to the welds and heel area. Make sure the fork locking pins are not damaged. Also, check the horn, gauges,
oh my
and
God.
hydraulic controls of your truck to be sure they are in good working order.
If it shows
the lift truck
forks again,
any part of the inspection,
more than likely it will.
Remove the key, tag it, and take it out of service. Immediately report the problem to your supervisor. Never attempt to fix a problem yourself. Repairs
we would always fix problems ourselves. Nobody fucking gave a shit about us.
Finally, never attempt to operate a truck if it is tagged out of service for maintenance. Now let's go over some proper operating techniques. Moving loads safely is what it's all about.
Okay, it's 9 minutes.
Loads come in
Let's
a
go
variety
back here.
Forks are properly attached and that the locking. Make sure the overhead guard, load backrest extension has its own internal combustion engine. Like clear trucks are designed for outdoor use on rough or semi-unimproved, depending on make and
straight
model.
up the actual forks.
Take the time for your specific truck. No matter has its own inspection procedures.
I want to see the actual forks.
Obvious physical damage, like loose parts, loose or worn hoses, or fluid leaks on the floor. Make sure the overhead guard, load backrest
backing
extension,
up all the way.
and feet
Where the
outside
fuck
the
is
truck while off the ground. To lift, you rack straight on until the load. When the forks
I'm trying to tell a story. Where the fuck is the forks?
The operation of an internal combustion
This will probably be honestly the best way to see it. Okay, so obviously you see the fucking forks. They are even with each other. I've straight up had a supervisor. And not just any supervisor, one that's actually in charge of the powered equipment. I forgot what he was doing, but he was doing some kind of maintenance inside the building. And he was using the forklift to help him perform the task. He fucking returned the forklift with one of the forks 5 inches, like, bent. This thing, solid fucking steel or whatever the fuck it's made out of, bent 5 inches down. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He's just like, oh, LMG, why are you being like this? Just fucking bend it back. How the fuck am I supposed to bend that shit back? I don't even know how you did it in the first place. I've seen people like chew up the ends, in which what we would do is just fucking lift up the lift and then take an angle grinder, smooth it out. But actually bending the whole entire fucking fork? What the fuck did you do?
So use
Back
the
to 9
right truck
minutes.
for the job. Be sure that all loads are carried flush against
Hey,
the
tar paper again.
backrest. Remember, the farther away the load is from the backrest, the harder it is for the truck to lift it. When handling a load, make sure it's secure. Check that the load is tightly packed and centered on the
God,
pallet.
fucking
If
Quikrete.
the
I hate
load
it.
isn't tightly packed,
I
don't
hate
lift it.
Quikrete so
Repack
fucking
it
much.
or secure it with banding or shrink wrap. Also make sure that the pallet is sturdy and fully supports the load. A cracked or broken pallet could cause a serious accident. Always be aware of the weight of the load and its center before.
These pallets cost $20 each, by the way. $20 USD. Each.
Lifting it. Check the weight against the maximum capacity listed on the truck's nameplate. If you are unsure of a load weight or a load
And if
center,
you damage
check with
it
your
and try to return
supervisor
it back to the company
before
for the
lifting it.
refund that they usually give you,
If the load is heavier on
they'll
one
just straight
end
up
than
reject
on
it.
the other,
But
carry the
usually, a
heavier
lot of these
end
pallets come
against the
in
backrest.
damaged.
When lifting or traveling with a load wider than the forks.
Now, what happens is if you buy a pallet of concrete, you buy the actual concrete itself and you buy the pallet as well. So for say it's $3 a bag of concrete, there's 48 bags of concrete that is on an 80-pound pallet. If I remember correctly, it's 48. There's 48 80-pound bags of concrete. So $3 times 48. I'm not doing the fucking math right now. Okay. On top of that, you have to pay an additional $20 for the pallet. Now, with that pallet though, if you return it to Quikrete, you get that $20 back. But if it's damaged, they just straight up don't even take it back. They say, fuck you. And 9 times out of 10, that fucking pallet is getting damaged within the fucking transportation of it.
Make sure it is on the forks sideways. Always watch the clearance on each end of the load. It's also important to know that attachments affect stability by changing the truck's capacity rating and load center. Remember, the nameplate shows the maximum capacity for your truck with an attachment. The following are some general safety rules to observe when
I hate dealing
operating
with
a lift
fucking
truck.
lattice too.
Don't
Lattice
ever
is
let
a
anyone
bitch and a
walk
half.
under or near your forks when they are raised. Also, never let anyone ride either on the forks or in the cab of your lift truck. Never reach through the mast. To adjust the load, fully lower the load, turn.
I like how they're talking about reaching through the mast. Meanwhile, I would lift up the forks to like a second or third rack, and I would climb on the lift to get to the second or third rack.
Turn off the truck, dismount, and then adjust the load. When traveling, keep at least 3 truck
I would take the
lengths
key with me
behind
to make
other
sure that
vehicles,
nobody
and
fucking
never drive directly
takes
towards a
it from
pedestrian
me.
or other lift truck. Make sure that pedestrians always maintain a safe distance from an operating lift truck. Make sure you have a clear path for driving. Pick up debris on the floor. Don't drive over it. And be aware of obstacles overhead, such as security cameras, sprinkler heads, pipes, signs, air vents, and doorways. Always travel in the direction that provides your best line of sight. Signal your approach to pedestrians and intersections by using your horn. The best defense against accidents is to go slow. Never drive so fast that you can't stop quickly and safely. Adjust your speed based on driving conditions and maneuverability. Always keep your arms and legs inside
I
the
will drive at
operator's
full speed
compartment
all
until
the
you
time.
come to a complete stop. And never dismount a moving truck. Stop the truck, lower the forks, set the brake, and then dismount in a controlled manner. Don't jump. A major difference between a lift truck and a car is
I just
that a lift
noticed
truck
that
is
seat had
rear steered.
suspension.
That means that
I've
the
never
rear
had a
swings out when
forklift that
turning.
had suspension in the
So
seat.
keep towards the right side of the aisle when you turn right,
Must be fucking nice.
and towards the left side of the aisle when you turn left. And always slow down and honk your horn before making a turn in an intersection or entering an aisle. Never turn on or
Faster
cross
you
over
go, the
a ramp
faster
or
the job
grade.
gets
A
done. Hell
lift
yeah.
truck may become unstable. If you travel up or down a grade with a loaded truck, be sure the load is always pointing upgrade. This means you must travel in reverse when coming down the grade and forward when you are going up.
I like how they're talking about. Hold up. They were just talking about speed.
The aisle when
Okay.
you turn right, and towards the left side of the aisle when you turn left. And always slow down and honk your horn before making a turn in an intersection
Beep beep.
or entering an
With the
aisle.
frizz? No way.
Never turn on or cross over.
They were just talking about speed. Okay. Speed and securing the load. And fucking like going up and down inclines. Watch the pallet.
Over a ramp or grade. A lift truck may
That is
become
not secure.
unstable. If
Granted,
you travel
me,
up or down
I
a
used to
grade
do that
with a
shit all the
loaded truck,
fucking time.
be sure the load is always pointing
I know it's
upgrade.
okay.
This means you must
But
travel
these are
in
supposed to be the
reverse when
professionals here.
coming down the
Okay.
grade
These are the people we're supposed to
and
look up to.
forward
That is
when you are
not
going
fucking
up.
secure.
Finally, make it a habit to lower the forks and set the parking brake every time you get off the truck. When working on a loading dock,
Boing, boing,
follow
boing.
these
Yeah.
precautions. First, be sure the wheels of the trailer you are about to load or unload are chocked. This is your responsibility. Second, check the floor
I'm not
of the
fucking
truck
going
for
outside
cracks,
every single
holes,
goddamn time that
missing
we get a
boards, and
trailer.
cleanliness. The truck must have sufficient capacity to support the combined weight of the forklift and load before entering.
There were times we would get fucking
Third,
20
be sure
trailers
the
a day.
dock board is securely in place and has the capacity to handle your truck and its load. Make sure
Something to note involving the wheel chocks and everything. I watched one of my coworkers almost fucking die one time. That happened multiple times, but in this specific situation, it was interesting. Cause wheel chocks of what parts? No. So the wheel chocks weren't there. But something to note is that so if the truck driver is capable of doing so, and you are going on a loading dock and you're driving into the truck and you're driving in and out, and they are capable of doing so, in which most truck drivers should be able to do this. Hello, Mr. Cheeseburger. Most truck drivers are capable of doing this and they already do it on their own. Have them, one, put on their emergency brake to their truck, and two, have them slide their tandems back. Because that didn't happen for one of my coworkers. And he drove onto the truck and it was perfectly fine. But when he tried driving back, the truck slid forward, the tandems weren't locked, and they fucking went forward, and the truck slid out of the dock. Luckily, everyone was able to stop every single thing just in time, where like the base of the forklift was here, the dock plate was down, and the forks and the pallet that he had were holding him up in the air. And the tractor trailer was able to back up strong enough and fast enough where he could fucking back up and lift the lift back up into the truck. Luckily, the worst part about that, like the outcome of that, the worst thing that happened is that he had a normal like sliding up and down trailer. Like the door, it was just like a garage door. And that slid down and hit the top of the lift and it fucked up the door. Can you post a picture of the Derpy Salmon move from RDR2 in the Discord? It already is there. It's in, let's see here. If you go to LMG, just scroll up to October, well, it's October 19th for me. Probably 18th for you. I don't know. All depends. Which wasn't that long ago.
Sure to use the dock lights when necessary. And fourth, always tell the driver when you're going to load or unload the trailer. One final note, make sure you have the right mast for working in a trailer. The right mast stays stationary while the forks lift. This allows for the low clearance of the trailer.
Yeah, LMG. It's a channel in there.
Here are some guidelines when working in a freight elevator. 1. Know the combined weight of your truck and the load and do not exceed the elevator's capacity. 2. Never allow pedestrians in the elevator when you enter or leave with the truck. 3. Enter slowly. 4.
I've never dealt with a freight elevator.
In the center of the elevator.
I've
5.
been on freight elevators, but like work-wise, never.
6. Turn off the power. 7. Set the parking brake. And 8. When using a motorized hand truck, drive into the elevator, load first. If the lift truck is used to elevate anyone other than the operator, you must use an approved safety platform. The platform must be equipped with safety railings, a solid floor, and a screen or bars separating the platform and the moving parts of the mast. Be sure the platform is secured to the lift truck. Lift and lower the carriage slowly with the platform attached to make sure the mast is functioning properly. Before allowing anyone to get on the platform, apply the parking brake. The operator must remain at the controls. Before we end this section of your training, let's briefly go over a few shutdown procedures.
Shutdown procedures.
When your shift is over, return your truck to the designated area, put the drive control in neutral, set the parking brake, tilt the mast forward until the fork tips rest on the ground or floor, turn off the truck, and close the LPG fuel valve if the truck is equipped with an LPG.
I would never turn the shit off. Granted, I understand why, but I would never turn the shit off. Only time I would turn it off is whenever I know that I'm not going to be the person operating the next day. Reason why is because it's funny. It's fucking hilarious that with this, like, you turn this off, there's still gas in the line, okay? And whoever is next will operate, depending on how hard they operate the lift and everything. They will operate the lift for like a solid 5 minutes, think that's running perfectly fine. And then it would just, like, usually a lot of the lifts, more modern, honestly, they will have an alarm that sounds that their propane is about to run out. So they usually have like 5 minutes until propane actually runs out and they need to replace it. But if you turn this off the night before and the next person who hops on, they got like 5 seconds from when they hear that alarm. So they hear the alarm, they start driving so that they can get to the place where to replace the propane. and it just immediately cuts off. Luckily, a lot of lifts have a safety feature where you can lower the forks and whatnot. But generally, what will happen is that you'll get off, do whatever shutdown procedure you're doing for the lift, look back here, see that's full if it has a gauge, or you'll try to take it off and you'll feel that it's full, and then you realize that the knob is actually turned off and you just turn it back on and go.
Tank. Then
But it's a little funny prank.
If you notice any problems, report them to your supervisor. Don't leave them for the next driver. This concludes our look at lift truck basics and Class 1, Class 4, and Class 5 trucks. You now know how to check critical factors such as load capacities and load stability.
Yay!
You can spot potential safety hazards. You know how to stack a load. You understand the basic principles of lifting a load. Now that you know
never
what it
lift a
takes to
load
be
like that.
professional lift
You're
truck
gonna fucking
operator,
tear up the racking.
practice the skills you've learned and use them
Know
on the
where your
job
forks
every
are.
day. You'll be protecting yourself and those around you.
Never attempt to fix any problems yourself. Oh, I always fix problems myself.
Refer to the operating manual that's supplied with your truck. Now your trainer will lead you in the practical training portion of this program. Listen to your trainer.
I like how they never talk about, hey, you're supposed to wear eye and ear protection, which I would never wear. I would wear sunglasses, but I would never wear eye and ear protection.
And ask questions if you don't understand any part of the program.
I don't understand anything, sir. Additional resources? Hey, that is the first DVD down. One more to go. If you are using a DVD player with and wish to display the additional resources, you must remove the disc from your DVD player and place it in a PC to display, download, and print the material. What? I never got that option. To access additional resources from your computer, follow these steps. Access the DVD player application. I'm using VLC. With a DVD disc in your computer, right mouse click on Start. Open Windows. Hold up. Hold up. I just want to see. This is probably too old for this, though. It's straight up just pulled up Microsoft Edge. Using the folder list, click on your DVD drive. Oh, it's just talking about File Explorer. Ooh, there it is. It never showed up before. Oh my god. Select the file you wish to view, such as operators, manual, certificate, etc. These files can be downloaded to your computer for unlimited use. Oh my god. Hold up. Ah. That's where these bitches, dude, hold up. Hold up. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Oh my god. Which so it pulled it up in my personal account. I'm gonna have to like crop it out and shit. Discovering mafia files in the Forklift company. No, like I thought Excuse me. I thought like the test and everything. Hold up, what the fuck is this? I don't know how to open this. Just once. Ugh, that's disgusting. Printing of instructions. Dude, I have the I have the actual test. It came with the actual test. And the manual, instructor guide. Bro. What the fuck? Can I throw these in LMG? Let me fucking pull this shit up again. I'm gonna see something. No, we're probably not gonna see VLC for a second. Folder, new. I'm gonna call this Forklift. Files. But no test key. Well, I mean, it's gonna be in the actual manual. All the answers are there. And also, it's really fucking easy. It's just common sense. Okay, LMG. I just drop this here. File type's not supported. Okay, can I do this? Can I do this? It's probably just the doc file. Yeah. 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 Gonna fucking pin that shit. There's the actual Yale fucking instructor guide test and everything. Just in my channel on the Discord. Okay. um Return to main menu. Well, that was disc 1. So I'm assuming I can just fucking pop this bitch out. Get out. Here you are. Here you are, little guy. And again, if they were right to, I'll tell you right now, my company still uses this test. I know they do because I took it twice. And it's the same fucking shit. And also, I guarantee you, none of the guys that I work with even fucking knew that this shit was here. So now we are popping in the second disc, which is operator training, handle with care for class 2 and 3. So let's pop this bitch in. Get in. Get on the little circle thing. There you go. And get in here. It's running. Video or media. I don't fucking know. Open disk. Play.
Whether an operator is being trained to operate one type of truck or multiple types of trucks, there are certain basic fundamentals that the operator must learn about all lift trucks. Topics such as the difference between a lift truck and an automobile, vehicle stability, and steering principles are universal to all types of trucks. OSHA standards require that the formal training provide coverage on these basic fundamentals. Prior to viewing the training video that pertains to specific classes of trucks, we highly recommend that operators view the segment of the video titled OSHA Mandatory Lift Truck Overview.
What the fuck? I was not expecting it to just start like that. Okay, before we actually get started with the second DVD though, I am going to go to the bathroom. Literally just take a piss real quick. This feels illegal. LMG going to get the whole server shut down. No. I see you, Walker. But I am going to the bathroom real quick. Oh. Dot dot dot. Yes, welcome back. Welcome back, me. Something I just remembered. Doki Bird, when she came back, there was like a donathon that she did or some shit where she said that she would get forklift certified. Do you think I could actually get in contact with her to hand her these files and say, hey, study up? And like, I can fucking like burn the DVDs and give her the fucking videos if I really needed to. Well, maybe not burn them, but like record them. But what if I just fucking tagged her and said, hey, you wanted to be forklift certified, right? Here's the test. In fact, I'm gonna fucking tweet that shit right now. Would there have to be a test proctor though? Technically, yes, but no. Okay. Giving over the study guides. Well, it's not even the study guides, it's the actual like instructions and everything. Oh my god. These things have dates on them too. These are actually from 2013. I'm gonna fucking tag her right now on Twitter. I don't know how to give these to you. Uh, Mrs. as an MRS, Mrs. Doki. So it's I have the official as if she's married. That's why I'm asking you. MS. I'm just gonna. I mean, she may be married to Mint. You never fucking know. Mrs. Doki. Or could I just do MISS and just skip it all? But I have the official Yale. Yeah, go with Miss. Okay. I have the official Yale 2013. Well, let me fucking type this out first. If I remember correctly. Well, if memory serves me correct, there was a goal that was attained in which you would get forklift certified. Trying to think of what all to type out. Right now I don't know how to give these to you, Miss Doki. If memory serves me correct, there was a goal that was attained in which you would get forklift certified. I just then type out, I have the official Yale 2013 OSHA regulated instructor guides. No, guide operating manual and test for class 1 through 5. I don't know why I'm coughing so much today. Lifts. What I might end up doing is hope. So I will leave the DVD at home and just play dumb tomorrow at work and say, oh no, I left the fucking DVD at home. And if need be, I can fucking record all the videos and send them if needed. And she could probably do her own fucking thing. I don't know. I don't know how to give these to you, Miss Doki. If memory serves me correct, there was a goal that was attained in which you would get forklift certified. I have the official Yale 2013 OSHA regulated instructor guide, operating manual, and test for class 1 through 5 lifts. What else? Do I just say, would you possibly be interested in attaining these documents for your own personal use? Because in all honesty, all I'd do is just fucking send them to her on Discord or fucking put it in a Google Drive. You can use these files for preparing for certifying yourself. Please feel free to reach out to me and you may use these files for preparing or certifying yourself. And obviously tag Dokeeper. I think, excuse me. I think that's good. A screenshot of the actual files themselves. I don't know how to give these to you, Miss Doki. If memory serves me correct, there was a goal that was attained in which you would get forklift certified. I have the official Yale 2013 OSHA regulated instructor guide, operating manual, and test for class 1 through 5 lifts. Please feel free to reach out to me and you may use these files for preparing or certifying yourself. Also, if wanted, I have a way to give you also, if wanted, I can give you the actual training videos themselves. I don't know how to give these to you, Miss Doki. Oh, I've just noticed I typed you twice. I don't know how to give these to you, Miss Doki. If memory serves me correctly, there was a goal that was attained in which you would get forklift certified. I have the official Yale 2013 OSHA regulated instructor guide, operating manual, and test for class 1 through 5 lifts. Please feel free to reach out to me and you may use these files for preparing or certifying yourself. Also, if wanted, I can give you the actual training videos themselves. That sound good? And obviously at the very end I have at DokiBird. I think it sounds good. Thumbs up, M9. Hell yeah. Alright. Sending. Yeah. I'm fucking sending that shit. It's an actual tweet. Like I can give her the files. All right. Now we have one more DVD to go over. In which I already looked into it. The additional resources are literally just the same exact thing. Pretty sure this is the same video as the first one, but we're just gonna see.
As an operator of a lift truck, your job is critical to your company. You move raw
Pretty
materials
damn
in
sure this is
and
just the
finished
same
product
exact fucking
out.
shit.
Welcome to the Yale Operator Training Program. Did you know that you're operating a powerful piece of industrial equipment?
No, I did not know.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics show that operator training can reduce the number of industrial truck accidents.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same exact shit.
That means the back end swings out, shifted to the side of the
yeah,
install it on the
it's the same exact thing.
and ask questions if you don't understand any part of the program.
Okay. And now on to class 2 trucks. Which, if I am correct, that is like...
Class 2 electric-powered narrow
okay.
aisle trucks work in aisles where space is limited. The operator's compartment is in the back of the truck, and you have to stand when you operate it. These trucks are compact and have a tight turning radius.
The see, dude's literally just standing up against it. It's against the fucking meter.
Battery and do not come in gas or LP gas models. They are also equipped with load wheels. There are 3 main types of narrow aisle trucks: reach, straddle, and order picker. Reach trucks are designed with an extend mechanism that reaches out to pick up loads. Straddle trucks do not extend. They pick up and carry loads within the wheelbase of the truck. Order pickers allow the operator to be lifted and lowered with the platform and forks for order picking. Like order pickers, the operator's compartment of man-up turret trucks raises with the load. The gauges, controls, and features of the narrow aisle truck.
Any one of the ones that I've ever operated, like this emergency stop button would actually be like right over here. This would hang out right here. This would be in the same, but the actual screen or anything would be like right here.
you will be operating varies depending on make and model. Take the time to familiarize yourself with your truck's controls and be sure to read the operating manual for your specific truck. If you
Hell
have
yeah.
any questions about the gauges, controls, and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor. The operator can change the direction of travel while a narrow aisle truck is moving by
See,
plugging.
just the tilting back and
Plugging
forth.
is moving the directional control handle in the opposite direction that you are traveling. This should be done carefully and smoothly. To stop a narrow aisle truck, move the control handle to the center position and step up from the brake pedal. This pedal serves
That
as both a
is
service brake and a parking brake. Plugging
Don't do that. Yes, it does work, but holy fuck, are you gonna get hurt? You are either gonna get hurt or you are going to fucking lose your load. And I'm not talking about the fucking good one. Okay. Dude. Like this, yes, you're releasing the brake pedal so that it will stop. Because this detects if the user is actually in the lift, and it'll stop when there isn't. But on the plugging where it's talking about moving back and forth, like, yeah, you use that to plug back and forth. Want to know what else you can use it for? Fucking stopping easily. Because if you lift up your foot from this, it's not going to stop easily. It'll stop right then and fucking there. Like, it is dangerous when you do that.
can also be used to stop a truck. Order pickers allow the operator to be lifted
Same thing with the order picker.
for order picking.
Except with the order picker, it's even more dangerous because you're up in the
You
air.
must always wear the safety harness and tether. The gauges, controls, and features of the order picker you will be operating varies depending on make and model. Take the time to familiarize yourself with your truck's controls and be sure to read the operating manual for your specific truck. If you have any questions about the gauges, controls, and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor. Order pickers are also equipped with a slack chain indicator, which tells the operator when the forks are hung up and prevented from lowering, a steering direction indicator that shows the direction the drive wheel is pointing.
See? It tells you how fast you're fucking going. And also, these are like different gears, in which to me, I always drove in 4 on everything. Either 1 or 4, because sometimes like one's just better than the other. But that's basically your fucking gear shift. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't fully know the difference. All I know is that, like, for some reason it feels better in 1 or it feels better in 4. Make a personal decision. I usually went for whichever one would feel like you're more grounded with the lift and also faster. Because like 2 and 3, or whichever one is the other, is just slower, and it's a whole lot more muddier when you're trying to operate it.
A pallet clamp control.
These fucking pallet clamps never fucking work.
Control pedal, and a pallet clamp to grip the pallet to prevent it from slipping off the forks. An order picker may also have fixed or pivoting side rails and half-height or full-height corner posts. Order pickers and turret trucks are often used in wire-guided or rail-guided aisles. Wire-guided aisles have an electric guide wire in the floor that allows the operator to travel in the aisle without having to steer the truck. In rail-guided aisles, the truck is guided by rails at the base
This seems
of the
so
racks
fucking
on
dangerous.
each side of the aisle. Before working in wire or rail-guided aisles, you must be familiar with proper operating procedures. Refer to your truck's operating manual. Some order pickers are equipped with return to center steering, which returns the steer tire to a straight ahead position when the operator turns the truck on or off. On a man-up turret truck, the operator's seat can be folded up, and the truck can be operated either standing or seated.
Why would you
The
operate
gauges,
it standing
controls,
if you
and
can be
features
seated
of
at
the
the same
turret
time?
truck you will be
It would
operating
reduce
varies
human error,
depending on
and
make
also
and
it's a whole
model.
lot safer.
Take the time to familiarize yourself with your truck's controls and be sure to read the
As I said,
operating
I've never
manual
personally
for your
operated a turret
specific
truck, so I don't really know.
If you have any questions about the gauges, controls, and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor. Even though narrow aisle trucks have different operating controls than counterbalance trucks, you still must always follow basic safety rules. Remember to read the truck's operating manual, check the truck's nameplate, and make a complete inspection of the truck before operating it. And speaking of inspections, there are a number of major checks you must make before operating your truck, some with the key switch off and some with the key switch on. Before performing any checks with the key switch off, make sure the brake is on and turn off and remove the key. Brakes are on when no one is in the operator's compartment or when the operator's foot is removed from the brake switch. Checks made with the key switch off include checking for leaks, fluid levels, component condition, and some operational checks. To check for
You ever
leaks,
used a
complete
Gaylord
full
as a
walkaround,
personal and
looking
equipment
underneath the truck.
lift?
Check
I'm
the
assuming
motor
that's the type of
compartment
brand
and
of
clean out any
lift,
debris. Check all
because I've heard
hydraulic line
Gaylord used
connections.
multiple different ways.
Inspect the overhead guard.
But no, I've
Before
I've
checking the
operated
mast,
a
make sure the
Toyota
carriage
forklift
and
before,
forks are
and
lowered.
then Yale
Check the
all the other
carriage,
times.
chains, mast, load backrest, and hoses.
Oh,
Look for
and
excessively
Heister.
worn or damaged parts. Pay special attention to the pins and
I forgot
anchors
that
on chains and
the
forks.
20,000-pound lift that my company
And
has back
speaking of
home
forks,
is
check
it's
for
a
cracks
box.
and excessive wear. Refer to your operating manual for more details.
The fuck is a Gaylord then? Gaylord. Oh, those? No, I've never used those. Yeah, I've never used one of those. I've used a carpet pole. I've used fork extensions, obviously, and I've used carpet poles. Looks like a big ass fucking dick. Yeah, the carpet pole, it just fucking attaches to the railing that's on the actual front of the lift, and it just sticks out like 20 feet, and it's a solid fucking pole.
Information on fork inspection. Look for chunking and rubber separation on the load wheels. Check to see if any nails or wire has become embedded in the tires. And check that shrink wrap, banding, or other material has
You're
not
never gonna
become
get all
wound
the
around
fucking
the
banding
axle.
and shrink wrap out.
Check
You're
the
never gonna
condition
get
of
it
the
out.
reach arm mechanism on reach trucks and the turret attachment on turret trucks. If your truck is equipped with a tether and body harness, make sure they are secured to the truck, not frayed, and in good operating condition. Check the condition and operation of any side rails or gates. Make sure they latch securely. Inspect the battery and connectors. Look for damage, corrosion, or loose connections. Make sure the battery is
Dude, I would
secured.
never see anybody
When
do
making
these
checks
shit.
with the
Like,
key
do all
switch
this
on,
fucking shit.
make sure the area around
They would
the
just
truck
check
is
the
clear.
fucking tether,
Do not
and that's
start
it.
or operate any lift truck from any place other than the designated operator's position. Check the horn and lights. Check the operation of the steering wheel or tiller. Turn the steering wheel or tiller in both directions.
Why did
It
you
should
act
turn
like it?
smoothly.
Oh my god.
Check the brake switch.
So where he was turning and it like stopped, I don't know a single one of them, old and new. I don't know a single one of them where the actual steering part just stops. Yes, it'll probably get a little bit tougher to move, but otherwise it just goes into a neutral swing where you can infinitely spin it and nothing will happen.
Remember, on a Class 2 truck, the brake is applied when the operator's foot is removed from a foot switch located in the floor of the compartment. Even though these trucks have a foot switch, the normal braking method is plugging. Plugging is moving the handle in the opposite direction that you are traveling. Refer to the operating manual for more specific details.
If I could keep a forklift
Check
at
the
home,
speed
then
and
I would be
directional
considerate of
control.
its insides. Yeah.
Also, check levers for lift, lower, and auxiliary functions, in addition to the operation of the mast. And last, but certainly not least, check to see that all alarms, gauges, the horn, and lights are working. If the lift truck fails any part of the inspection, tag it, remove the key, and immediately report the problem to your supervisor. Never attempt to fix a problem yourself. Repairs
I always
must be
fix
carried
problems
out
myself.
by trained service personnel. As a lift truck operator, there are
So like where it's talking about, like where you're talking about like being considerate of the insides of the lift and shit. So a lot of times uh whenever just driving outside, and as I've said, I've dealt with pallets of concrete and shit. Sometimes people would just fucking leave the fucking plastic from the concrete pallets just sitting out in the open. And you would drive over them. And sometimes what would happen is that the plastic would actually get sucked up into the lift and then into the engine, and the forklift would still operate. But you want to know what's going to happen? That plastic starts fucking melting and then burning and then starts evaporating. And then you smell nothing but plastic for the next 3 days after out of that lift. It'll still operate, but it's going to be burning and melting and evaporating plastic that entire time.
several things you must do following the pre-shift inspection and before operating a lift truck. First, know the lifting capacity of the forklift. Make sure the weight of the load does not exceed the truck's lifting capacity as specified on the nameplate. On the nameplate, you'll find the truck model and serial number and the lifting capacity, which is the maximum load a lift truck can safely handle. Second, check the type, size, and shape of the load. Make sure the load is stable and won't shift during travel. In addition to damaging product, an unstable load can fall and injure you or a coworker.
Nobody fucking gives a shit
If the
about
load
if the load
too
is stable.
tall or maybe unstable when traveling, repack it.
I've had
and
it
secure
happen so
with
many
shrink
times that
wrap
I would
or
open
other
up a
banding.
truck
If you are
and
still unsure about the
pallets
load,
would
see
actually
your
just fall
supervisor.
out.
And third, make sure the floor is safe for traveling. All narrow aisle trucks are designed for smooth concrete floors with very
Could
slight
confuse people
grades.
if they were
They're
having
to
a
be
stroke
used
or
only in
not when they
dry,
smell
dust,
burning
and
plastic.
dirt-free applications.
So the best way I
Always
could
travel in the
describe it
direction of
is it
greater
would smell
visibility.
like burning rubber gloves.
Stand in the operator's compartment with your right hand on the control handle, your left hand on the steer tiller, your right foot on the floor plate, and your left foot depressing the brake. This releases the brake and sends electrical power to the motor. On most narrow aisle trucks, move the control forward to go forward and backward for reverse. Power steering is controlled by your left hand. Rotate the tiller clockwise to turn right and counterclockwise to turn left. Always check the name.
Okay, now when I thought stroke was burning toast. Yeah, it is. Ow.
This
No,
releases the
no.
brake and sends electrical power to the motor. On most narrow aisle
Where it's talking about turning left and right, which way is the front? And I'm gonna be upset if they show this dude driving and he's driving the wrong way. Because they are correct in the sense of, oh, driving left and right, like turn left to go left, turn right to go right. But which way is the front? You have to keep that in mind. Because what if I told you with a narrow aisle reach truck, you don't drive that left is left, right is right. Because you drive it backwards. This is the front. This is the back, this is the front. You carry the load behind you. So to turn left, you turn right. To turn right, you go left. Why, you may ask? Because you don't have your load in front of you because you can't see what's in front of you. You already can't see what's in front of you with this. You already can't see it. So why would you put even more shit in front of you that you can't see?
trucks move the control forward to go forward and backward for reverse. Power steering is
They
controlled
are
by your
correct
left
in the
hand.
sense of
Rotate the tiller
when you are
clockwise to
actually
turn
dealing
right,
with pallets
and
themselves and you
counterclockwise
are
to turn
focusing
left.
on just the load,
Always check the
yes,
nameplate for
left is
options
left,
that
right is
may
right.
change the
But
way
when you're
your
actually
truck
driving,
operates.
left is right, right is left.
The gauges, controls, and features of the narrow aisle truck you will be operating vary.
But I will say it
depending
probably
on make
also
and
depends
model.
on which
Take
make
the
and
time to
model
familiarize
you're
yourself
using.
with your truck's
But
controls,
every
and be
single
sure
one
to
of these
read the
fuckers that
operating
I've ever
manual
driven,
for your
it's always
specific truck.
been this is the
If
front,
you have any
left
questions
is
about the
right,
gauges,
right is
controls,
left.
and features of your truck, talk to your supervisor. You can also plug the truck to stop it. Simply move the handle in the opposite direction that you are traveling.
That red that's under his thumb is a horn. This is the actual, so for the head of the fork truck, these are the controls for it. The actual controls right here, just normally, will operate the tilt and the sideways functions of it. If it's capable of doing tilt and sideways functions, there's usually a trigger that you use with your index finger. You would hold it, and then this would actually operate the functions of extending in and out.
Narrow aisle trucks operate differently than counterbalance trucks and take some practice. This is especially true of order pickers. Railings and a safety belt or harness and tether help prevent the operator from falling. Be sure they are always properly fastened and the guardrails are in place. The harness and tether are attached to the overhead guard and must always be worn when operating this truck. To put on the harness, first hold it by the D-ring and make sure the straps are not twisted. Then, with the D-ring in the back, put the harness on like a jacket, one arm at a time. Make sure that the straps are not tangled. Next, buckle one leg strap to the harness strap, then the other strap.
This one's fancy. It's an actual belt.
Now, attach the chest strap.
At my warehouse, we did have ones that were
from the
belts,
top
but
of
we
your
only had like
shoulders.
2 of them.
Tuck the excess strap through the loop keepers.
They would always just
Finally,
be
adjust
like
the shoulder
loops
straps
that
and
you
the
would
leg
adjust.
straps for a snug fit. Make sure
And
the
weird.
back D-ring is centered between your shoulder blades.
I never felt comfortable in those.
Order pickers also have a pallet clamp to grip the pallet and prevent it from moving. To open the pallet clamp and grip the pallet, step on the foot pedal. Drive slowly until the center support of the pallet is in the clamp. Step off the pedal to grip the pallet. Always make sure that the pallet clamp is securely
As I
fastened
said
to
before,
the
this
pallet
shit almost never
before
fucking
traveling.
works.
If the pallet clamp does not grip the center pallet support securely, report it to your supervisor. Order pickers also come equipped with an emergency manual lowering control valve for the operator's platform. This valve is located in the drive motor compartment. To lower the operator platform, push the valve knob in and rotate it counterclockwise.
No, they're actual,
Make sure
like,
it's closed
granted, I don't know
before
about
operating the
climbing
truck.
grade, but they
The
are actual
platform
climbing
will
gear.
lower if the valve is not closed. Second, before using this valve, make certain there is nothing that will
Like, I would
prevent
trust
the
that shit with
platform or
climbing.
forks from lowering. When
Granted, I'm
operating
also
an
not a
order
climbing
picker,
expert.
steer
I don't do
with your
climbing.
left hand.
But if I
Always
were,
face
I would
in
trust
the
this stuff.
direction you are traveling. Order pick from the operator platform whenever possible. When another platform is attached, make sure it is installed to manufacturer's recommendations. On many order pickers, you can immediately cut the power by pushing the red emergency button in. Power is restored when the truck is recycled. When
So you're
picking
not
up
going
a
to
load
reset
with
the
a
button?
reach truck, first line your truck up with the center
You got
of
to
the
reset
load
the button.
and approach it slowly and straight on. The forks should be spread as wide as possible for the load.
No.
If the forks have to be
Well,
spread,
as wide as
make
possible
sure
for the
you
load,
always
yeah.
push the forks away from you. Never pull
But
the
at the same
forks
time,
towards you.
sometimes the pallets are a
sure
little
the
bit
fork
weak, so you want the
pins are
forks a
secure.
little bit more on the inside,
Now, inch forward. Inching is traveling at a very
so that it
slow
will support the
speed.
bottom of the pallet.
Extend the reach mechanism until the load is against the load backrest. Now, raise the load 4 to 6 inches off the ground.
Are you going
Retract
to tilt
the
back?
forks. Tilt the load back and
No,
proceed
tilt back,
slowly.
then bring it backwards.
Picking up a load with a turret truck is different than with any other narrow aisle truck. Turret trucks have an auxiliary mast, also called a mini mast, with the carriage and forks. The carriage and forks can be rotated 180 degrees to place or remove a load from either side of an aisle. When picking up a load with a turret truck, you should line your carriage and forks up with the center of the load. Raise the forks high enough to enter the pallet smoothly. Insert the forks until the load is against the load backrest.
Those forks are very...
Raise
Dude,
the load slowly
oh my god.
until the pallet clears.
Watch that shit. He fucking goes in. I'm thinking, this dude's a little bit low. But then they're like, lift up the pallet. Look at this dude's
Raise
forks.
the forks high enough to enter the pallet smoothly.
Watch them.
Insert the forks until the
Just
load
watch
is
it.
against the load backrest. Raise the
Fucking,
load
they were
slowly
fully
until the
rested
pallet
on the
clears
rack.
the rack.
You never do that.
Retract
Never
the
do that.
load until it is centered in the aisle. Lower the load until it is about 4 to 6 inches from the ground. Check for pedestrians and potential hazards, then proceed with caution at a safe travel speed. When placing a load at ground level with a reach truck, first come to a complete stop. Level the forks. If you are using a reach truck, extend the forks. Then slowly lower the load. Retract the forks. After the load is in position, look in reverse to make sure the area is clear, then back out carefully. Adjust the forks into the traveling position approximately 4 to 6 inches from the ground. Make sure the truck path is clear and proceed with caution at a safe travel speed. To take a load from a rack, approach the rack straight on until the forks are just a few inches from the rack.
Lower your
Raise
forks.
the forks until they are at the correct
He's
height
going up in
to
there.
enter the pallet smoothly. Inch forward. Extend the forks slowly until they
Why
are
are
in the
these
pallet
dudes setting
and
the
load is
forks
flush
onto
against
the
backrest.
racks?
Raise the forks slightly so the pallet
They
is
keep
not
setting
resting
them on the rack.
Remember, forks must
They want
be
to
at
talk about
least
people being
2/3
dangerous.
the
They're
length
the
of
ones
load
being fucking
and
dangerous.
must not interfere
That's how you
with
push the
anything on
fucking
other
rack over.
side of the load. Now, retract the load. Then, After checking behind you for pedestrians and other obstructions, back up slowly until you are clear of the rack. Now, lower the load.
Or what you can
Remember,
do is, since
when
there's no
operating a
pallet
reach
next to
truck,
it, you can just
never
turn out of
travel,
it instead of
lift,
actually backing
or
out of it,
lower with
and
the
you have more
forks
room.
extended. Always travel in the direction of the greatest visibility.
What are you doing?
Order pickers and man-up trucks are designed.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this dude
Or
doing?
lower with the forks extended. Always.
What is he doing? Keep in mind the controls are behind him. Like, the actual controls for you to move forward and backwards are right there. They're behind him. And it's not like, oh, a specific model. No, this is a backrest. Where is his hand? Behind him. He cannot see where he is going. He is not seeing his controls. He can see where he is going, but he cannot see his controls. This just looks like a fucking dumbass to me. Like, ooh, yeah, you're fucking steering. Ooh. You can't see. There's no spoon. There's no spoon. There's no forklift. What is this dude doing? Fucking dumbass right here.
Travel in the direction of the greatest visibility. Order pickers and man-up.
I don't even know how he was operating it right there. His hands weren't even on the fucking controls.
To allow the operator to pick from various heights while moving the truck within the aisle.
Once they're actors, would probably operate the machinery better than this.
When the operator platform is occupied and elevated above 24 inches. Order pickers are operated in narrow aisles with and without rail or wire guidance.
Hold up. What did they say? 24 inches for what?
Turret trucks are designed to raise the operator's compartment and forks to allow the operator to pick from various heights while moving the truck within the aisle. These trucks are designed to restrict travel speed when the operator platform is occupied and elevated above 24 inches.
Okay, where they're talking about above 24 inches or whatever. Some of the lifts are 36 inches, which is 3 feet. But 24, 3 feet, oh well. So you can drive at full speed under that height. But when they're saying restricted, they are not talking about fully stopped. They are talking about being slowed down. So you can be 100 feet up in the air. Hey nerd, how's the training going? Fuck you. You're late to training. You're 2.5 hours late for training. But so when they're talking about restricted, they're not talking about fully stopped. When you're above those heights, it is just really slow. It is not super slow, so you still kind of have to be a little bit careful. But you can be 100 feet up in the air, all the way up at the top of your warehouse. Does this mean I can't be forklift certified today? No, fuck you. Swim with the fishes. You're late, okay? You're not getting certified. But you can be 100 feet up in the air and you can still move. Now, just think, there's still center of mass involved in this shit, okay? Your center of mass is now at the ground. So you move the lift 100 feet up in the air, you're at the very end of a fucking 100-foot radius that's just wagging back and forth up in the air. So you better hold on. Or you can just lower and then fucking fix yourself and whatnot and then deal with that. But then you have me where I've got fucking people just yelling at me, calling me a bitch when like I've only ever used it for like a week.
Order pickers are operated in narrow aisles with and without rail
I'm an
or
OSHA
wire
outlaw.
guidance. These aisles consist of racking filled with pallets, tubs, or bins filled with stock. An order picker should be stopped next to the
Bro, we
stock
would
to
put
be
fucking
picked,
washing
then
machines
elevated into
and
position
dryers
just
and
high enough to
dishwashers and
pick the stock.
microwaves and sometimes
After
even
you pick,
fucking fridges up
lower
with
the
this shit.
compartment and move to the next pick site. Never travel with
We
the
would do so
operator's
many things with
compartment
order pickers
elevated.
that you are
Order
not supposed to do
pickers
with an order
are
picker.
not intended for right-angle stacking in racks. Removing
Even
a
though
load
that it's
with a
kind of
turret
intended,
truck is
it's just
similar to
like
a
that
narrow
is
aisle reach truck,
all we used it
except
for.
the load
It is
being
none of that
removed
small
from
shit.
the side instead of straight on. The turret truck should be stopped with the carriage and forks lined up with the load. Rotate the mini mast. Raise the carriage and forks just high enough to enter the pallet. Insert the forks until the load is against the load backrest.
Swear to God, if you touch
Raise
the
the
rack
load
again.
slightly to clear the rack and retract.
Oh my
until the load
God.
clears the rack.
Dude. Oh my God. Look at this pallet when he lifts this and he's pushing it in. Holy fuck.
Raise the load slightly to clear the
What
rack
are
and
you
retract
doing?
until the load clears the rack. Retract the mini mast, center the load in the aisle, and lower
Have a
it.
black eye using the picker. Oh my
Check
God.
for pedestrians and obstacles, then proceed with caution at
Shut
a
up.
safe speed. Let's now go over some important safety rules to follow when operating Class 2 lift trucks. It's important to remember that these trucks should not be used on ramps or outdoors. They are designed for use
We
on
use this
smooth,
shit
hard
outdoors all the
floors
time.
and in dry
Not on
areas.
gravel, I'll say that
And
much.
since they are electric, they can be used in areas requiring exhaust-free operation. Always operate your truck with your head, hands,
Hey, yo. Hold up.
feet, and legs.
Hey, yo. What you doing? Okay. I need them to show the
inside
order
the
picker
operator's
again.
compartment. Stop, travel, steer,
What
and
are you
brake
doing?
smoothly. Slow down for
You're a
turns
fucking
and on
dumbass.
uneven or slippery surfaces.
See,
that
his
could
controls are
cause
right
the truck
there.
to overturn or slide.
How is he fucking moving?
Always travel with the forks retracted.
You call that
4
a
to
slumpy,
6
not a
inches off the
dumpy.
ground. Traveling with the forks up or extended with or without a load will make your truck less stable.
Whether you call it a slumpy or dumpy, she's still trying to fucking stick it out. This is a serious OSHA certification video, okay? I don't need you fucking throwing your ass out here and fucking whoring yourself. Go to fucking OnlyFans or some shit. Don't do that here.
An operator should always enter and exit aisles slowly and cautiously, and make sure the truck is lined up properly before entering the aisle. Always approach an intersection or cross aisle slowly.
Notice how this dude's
keeping
sideways?
an eye out for
That's good.
pedestrians and other trucks. Some applications may have mirrors placed at the intersections and at the end of the aisles. These are
This is like a requirement. I think, like, I cannot think. Well, I can't think in general, but I'm trying to remember. I think every single aisle that I've ever seen or been on, they've always had at least some sort of mirror.
intended only to assist you as you check for possible cross traffic.
What
You
is
should always
this?
come to a complete stop and check for pedestrians and other trucks. Sound the horn and then proceed with caution at a slow travel speed.
Brother. Hold up. Okay, 2 hour, 37-minute mark. Dumpy spotted citation.
pedestrians, and other trucks. Sound the
Dude, can you think in memes at least? I try to. What is this dude doing? What the fuck is this dude doing? He is turning into this aisle. There's a pedestrian right here. I'm gonna back up just a couple more seconds. Watch this dude. Where are his eyes?
and other trucks. Sound the horn and then
Where
proceed
are
with
his eyes?
caution at a
Now
slow
he
level,
can see the aisle.
always maintaining a safe distance between the
This
lift
dude
truck
never
and
knew that this
pedestrians
guy
and
was
other
here.
vehicles. You should also check with your company safety director or supervisor for additional safety procedures for your facility. Make it a habit to check the harness and tether for wear, such as cuts, frays, and missing grommets. The proper way to use an order picker is to position it as close to the
So, where I wanted to see another order picker, okay? So, what we would do is we would take an old pallet, like a sturdy ass fucking pallet, and we would take 3/4 inch plywood, and we would cut it in half, and we'd place a sheet of it on top and a sheet of it on bottom, and we'd screw it to the top and bottom of the pallet. And that would be a solidified surface that we can use to walk out on. You're technically not supposed to walk out on it, but with every fucking thing that we did, we kind of had to. Now, part of the training that we did is we would go outside onto the concrete that's outside, obviously. It's flat. We would lift this lift all the way up to the very max height. And for us at our place, the only way that we would let you drive one of these. Now keep in mind the max height was actually like above the store. You could see the like AC units on top. You could see the highway from across the way. You would have to drive this thing, go all the way up top, and you'd have to be comfortable with standing on this pallet, not on the platform or holding anything. You'd have to be comfortable standing on this platform. Keep in mind, you're literally looking at like 110, 120 feet down to the ground. And the only thing that is like helping or saving you is the tether that you have. Or walking back to the lift. But unless you can basically comfortably just walk out onto that platform, we didn't want you to be on there. Not out of the fact of calling you a bitch, okay? We may call you a bitch as a joke. But in all seriousness, if you are not comfortable walking out onto that pallet, you are not going to be comfortable operating that lift.
racks as possible. Be aware of the size and weight of the stock you'll be handling. Keep the stock evenly distributed on the pallet so it is balanced. During order picking, remain on the operator's platform. Once the platform is raised, the foot switch should be released to apply the parking brake and the controls put in neutral. While the platform is elevated, the operator must be in position to access the controls at all times. If you must stand on a pallet, make sure it's undamaged, sturdy, and clamped securely. Do not travel if you are elevated. Be very careful when
Do
you
not
raise
travel
the
if you're
order
elevated,
picker.
then
Look out for
why are
security
we able to
cameras,
travel? You
sprinkler
should lock
heads,
it.
Pipes, signs, air vents, and doorways. Never.
And something I was mentioning earlier, these rafters right here, all of these rafters, we would have these all over the place, obviously. What we would do if we're operating on the very top rack, we would take the order picker and we'd press it up against a rafter. Not forcibly, but press it just up against it. Because if you just put it up against it, it is solid. You do not feel it moving around. It is as if you are on solid ground. Just be knowledgeable that, you know, there's still fucking nothing underneath you.
Travel with the platform elevated. If you need to move a full pallet, you shouldn't use the order picker. Use either the counterbalance truck or narrow aisle truck. Remember, always use the right tool for the job. Order pickers and turret trucks are not designed to load or unload trailers and rail cars.
I've only done it once
there
before
are
because somebody
additional
stole all
safety
my lifts.
precautions if you load or unload a trailer
But it was
or
only
rail
one
car
pallet and it was very
with a
light.
reach truck. Make sure the truck, trailer, or rail car is secure. This means that the operator should check to make sure the highway truck or trailer brakes are applied and that the wheels are chocked. Fixed jacks may be necessary to support the front and rear of the highway trailer to prevent it from tipping during loading or unloading. Some trailers are designed with built-in stabilizers. It's important that you make sure the trailer being loaded or unloaded is properly supported and secured before entering the trailer with a lift truck. This is especially important if the trailer has been disconnected from the highway truck. Rail cars should be disconnected from the engine car and brakes set. Check that the dock and trailer floors are level enough to allow the truck to enter and exit the trailer without interference. Then check to make sure the floor of the truck is strong enough to bear the combined weight of the lift truck and load. Check for cracks, breaks, and weak spots. Make sure the dock plate is secured and in good working condition. Also check that the dock plate capacity can support the lift truck and its load. Make sure the vertical clearance of the trailer or rail car is high enough for the mast. If your truck is not equipped with free lift capabilities, you must be especially careful. Although the trailer may be tall enough to accommodate the mast when it is down, you'll have to make sure that the mast does not begin to extend into the top of the trailer or rail car when raising the forks. Here are some guidelines when working in a freight elevator.
Basically
1.
all the same shit that
Know
we
the
had
combined
in
weight
the
of your
last one.
truck and the load, and do not procedures. The brake on a Class 2 truck is designed to
Guess I
auto
shouldn't
the
have skipped
elevator.
that far.
5. Fully lower the load. 6. Turn off
Oh,
the
well.
power. 7. Set the parking brake. It is not recommended to use a safety platform to lift anyone on a narrow aisle truck. Before concluding this part of our program, let's briefly go over a few parking procedures. The brake on a Class 2 truck is designed to automatically apply when the operator's foot is removed from the brake pedal or switch. Fully lower the forks. Be sure that the direction control is in the neutral position. Turn the key to the off position and remove it. Never park your truck on an incline or in a position that it limits access to fire aisles, stairways, and fire equipment. This concludes the classroom portion of your Class 2 lift truck operator training. You've been presented with a lot of information, but the most important thing to remember is that as a professional lift truck operator, you must make safety your first priority. If you have any questions
Safety
about the
first.
proper operation of your lift truck, refer to the truck's operating manual that's supplied with your truck, or talk to your supervisor. Now, your trainer will lead you in the practical training portion of this program. Listen to your trainer and ask questions if you don't understand any part of the program.
Don't ask me questions. Class 2 trucks. Actually, wait. No. Fuck. Shit. I didn't mean to do that.
Whether
Is this a question?
Whether
Shut
an
up.
operator is being trained, topics are quite automated lift review.
We already watched that. We just got done watching that. We're now on Class 3 trucks, I think. Is this a question? Shut up.
Class 3 electric motorized hand trucks are designed for use in dry applications with smooth hard floors and minimum grades. Applications include general warehousing and the grocery industry. And because they're electric, they can be used in exhaust-free areas, such as refrigerated or freezer storage plants.
Yay.
Motorized hand trucks can be operated by walking or riding,
Freezers.
depending on the model and the application. Trucks in Class 3 include low-lift pallet walkie and walkie riders, high-lift reach walkies, high-lift straddle walkies, and tuggers. Walkie and walkie riders are designed to be operated with the load trailing the operator, like a wagon.
But you need to
models are
be
designed to work in rack
very
areas
fucking careful
in
with it
place
though.
of counterbalance or narrow aisle trucks.
Because if you're not careful, fucking it'll just run your ass over.
A battery pack powers all Class 3 trucks, supplying power to the traction and hydraulic motors. Each facility has unique guidelines for battery charging. Refer to the operating manual that comes with the truck and talk to your supervisor for your company's policy.
The ones that I had for this were really cool because you could just remove the batteries and we had a separate charger.
Handles vary by make and model.
And it's like you just flip a little latch. You pull the battery out and then you take a new one, you just throw it in and it's good to go.
Control and a reversing switch. When pushed, this button reverses the direction of the truck, helping to protect the operator from being pinned between the truck and a wall or load. Some rider models also have a high-speed switch, which is used to increase speed when traveling long distances. Only engage it when standing in the operator's area.
We would operate that shit all the fucking
Gauges
time.
Include
high speed all the way, full speed.
Or separate battery indicators.
We got shit to do.
High lift models are equipped with masts.
I feel like this entire time I've just been told to shut up. My inquisitive nature has been stifled. I have one more question. Who do the bodies belong to and what forklift did you transport them with? Well, let me see. Who did the bodies belong to? They belong to you. I was carrying them to their final resting place. Why did you have them? And what forklift did you transport them with? Fucking a heister that is 20,000 pounds, I guess. I don't know. Shut up? No, you shut up. We're gonna end up being the fucking ram in, what is it? I think Brother Bear. Movie Brother Bear. Where it's like a ram or a ghost yelling, shut up. No, you shut up. No, you shut up. No, you shut up. Another day at the morgue warehouse. Yes. Lift the consequences.
Of different height.
I'm not really worried about this one because I mean, like, it's fairly simple. Just don't let it fucking run over you.
Backrest to help stabilize the load. Always check the nameplate for your truck's rated lifting capacity. Walkie straddle high lift.
I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
To stabilize the load.
They're yours.
Walkie reach trucks have a reach mechanism and also have outriggers to stabilize the load.
What?
Unlike rider trucks, walkie trucks don't have overhead guards. On Class 3 trucks, the brake is applied by raising the control handle all the way up or down. Some rider models have hand-controlled brakes. The preferred method for controlled braking on most walkie and walkie rider trucks is plugging. Plugging is moving the directional control in the opposite direction of the truck's travel. This brings the truck to a stop before moving in the opposite direction. Refer to the truck's operating manual for more detailed information on plugging. If you are new to plugging, make sure you
I
practice
recognize
it
all
before
bodies
you
that
handle
I
loads.
create such this body of
When
water.
operating Class 3 trucks, you must follow basic safety rules. Remember to read the truck's operating manual, check the truck's nameplate, and make
Nobody
a
reads the
complete
fucking
inspection of the
manual.
truck before operating it. And speaking of inspections, there are a number of major checks you must do before
Ah yes, this
operating
thing
your truck.
shakes.
Check for leaks. Do a full walk around,
What
looking
leaks? It's
underneath
electric.
the truck. Make sure the
Well, I guess
key
there
is
would be
off.
oil.
Check the motor compartment and clean out any
Nobody
debris.
fucking does this shit.
Check all hydraulic
Nobody does this.
connections. On masted walkies, before checking the mast, make sure the carriage and channels are lowered and that the truck is turned off and the key removed. Check the carriage, chains, mast, load backrest, and hoses. Look for excessively worn or damaged parts. Pay special attention to the pins and anchors on the chains and forks. Check the forks for cracks and excessive wear. Refer to your operating manual for more detailed information on fork inspection. Look for chunking and rubber separation on the load and drive wheels. Check to see if any nails or wire has become embedded in the wheels. And check that shrink wrap, banding, or string has not become wound around the axle. Inspect the battery and connectors. Look for damage, corrosion, or loose connections. Make sure the battery is secured properly in place within the battery compartment. If the truck fails any part of the
If you can pull your forks off, you are the forklift. Yes. Yes. You are 100% correct. Okay. Sometimes I question, like, this is supposed to be an actual serious video, which they are serious. But I can't imagine them not having the budget to take one more shot and not close the lid on the fucking cable.
secured properly in place within the battery compartment. If the truck fails any part of the inspection, tag it, remove the key, and immediately report the problem to your supervisor. Never attempt to fix a problem yourself. Repairs must be carried out by trained service personnel. As a lift truck operator,
Now,
there
what
are
they're
several
talking about involving, like, oh, this stuff must be performed by trained service personnel. Why are you having us check it then? Like, yes, check and see if, like, a lid is on, check if it's leaking, or whatever. The fuck do you expect us to do if it actually is leaking? I guess they did say lock it out. Then guess what? You're out of the lift. Not everyone's gonna have an entire fucking fleet of lifts. Like, a couple of you guys know what I do for work, and I don't talk about it on YouTube. And don't start bringing it up in comments or anything. But y'all know what I do. Or at least an idea of what I do. And in my entire building that I operate in, there is 6 forklifts. 6 forklifts, 2 reach trucks. Maybe 3 reach trucks. and a big giant lift. You work at the dildo factory, of course. Yes, 100%. I fuck your bitches.
Things you must do following the pre-shift inspection.
But imagine one of your lifts goes
operating.
out and everyone's using the lift. What are you supposed to do?
Make sure the weight of the load does not exceed
Are
the
you
truck's
supposed to
rated
have them
lifting
all stop
capacity
doing their work?
as specified on the nameplate.
Oh no, I got a little
Second,
oil leak.
check the type, size, and shape of the load. Make sure the load...
At least in your fucking training video, make sure that all this shit... Like, what is this? It's not even strapped. Where's the strap? It's not strapped to the pallet. It's not secure. Boxes are broken. This, holy fuck, it's not secure. What are you doing? You test Australia's finest lead and asbestos ridden buildings ranking by flavor. No, that's it right now. I'm talking about back home.
It is stable and won't shift when...
I lick the floors that they painted with lead paint.
Damaging product, an unstable load can fall and injure you or a coworker. If the load is too tall or may become unstable when traveling, repack the load and rewrap with shrink wrap or banding. If you are still unsure about the load, see your supervisor. And third, make sure the floor is safe for traveling. Motorized hand trucks are designed for smooth, hard floors with very slight grades. Now let's look at how to operate these trucks. As with any lift truck,
oh wow, they're actually showing how to
familiarize
operate it
with its controls. Turn the key and lower the steering
an
and braking
adjustable
handle.
load.
This will
What
release
women
the
call
brake.
me.
To move the truck forks first, use your thumb and rotate the directional control switch on the handle away from you.
By the way, that red is
To
an
move the
emergency
truck
stop.
towards you, rotate the directional control towards you. The more you rotate
Because if
this
it like
control,
bumps into your
the
belly
faster the
or
truck will
something
go.
else, it'll
Remember, rotate the
reset it.
control in the same direction you want the truck to
It'll
go.
stop everything until you fully
When
reset
operating
the
a truck
system.
with the forks trailing,
If it
to
operates
turn to
properly.
the right, swing the steer handle to the right. To turn left, swing the steer handle to the left. Always check for pedestrians and other trucks. On motorized hand trucks, the brake is applied whenever the handle is in the full up or full down position.
I've
Walking
never
trucks
seen
should
it
be
work
walked
like
in
that in the
direction
full
of
down.
highest visibility, which is normally with a load behind you and your arm slightly bent. You should always walk to the side of the truck. This is important because if you have to stop suddenly, your arm will naturally move the steering braking arm to the full
Fuck.
up or down position, causing the truck to stop.
Why do you have to beep?
To a full stop before
I understand
taking your
beeping
hands
in
off the
general, but
control
why are you having to beep? You're in front of it.
Motorized walkie and walkie rider hand trucks travel with the forks in the up position. Remember to travel in the direction of the highest visibility.
Like, yeah, beep, but they stopped.
When traveling
And
with a
then
masted walkie without
fucking-
a load, make sure the mast is
Oh my
fully
God.
lowered and travel
It's
with
just
the
stupid
forks
to me.
about 4 inches from the ground. Never travel faster than normal walking speed. Always travel with one hand on the controls and walk ahead and to the side of the truck with the load trailing. Operate your masted walkie slowly when turning. Unlike sit-down counterbalance and stand-up narrow aisle trucks that steer from the rear, low-lift and masted walkie and walkie riders steer from the front, like an automobile. With the load trailing, you have to be aware of turning corners too sharply or front-end swing. While operating with the load leading and turning to place or remove a load, you must also be aware of tail swing, which is the swift movement outward of the opposite end of the truck. As we mentioned earlier, some rider trucks have a high speed switch.
What tail swing, though? I don't know what tail swing it's talking about. Like, I guess, yeah, this much, but your entire fucking front ass is hanging out. that you're swinging around, that you are in control of. That is not a tail. This is the tail. The center point is right here. That's the pivot.
Be especially careful at high speeds because you will need more room to stop. And if you take corners too fast, the truck or load can tip over. Some walkie rider trucks are equipped with a coast control feature to facilitate order picking. With this feature, the truck will coast a few feet before it stops. Only use the coast control when you are operating from a walking position. You have to be especially careful when using this feature because the brake is not applied immediately, but is applied after the
So
truck
when do we watch
coasts
the
a few
Chinese
feet.
accident
When
recreation?
using the coast control,
What?
make sure it is used only on a level surface, free of debris. You should not allow the
Recreation
truck to
videos used
coast into
for
a
training?
cross aisle or be used in
I don't know. At some
pedestrian
point, I'm gonna
walkways.
do a
Make sure
stream
you
where
walk
we actually
to the
go and
side of the
like
coasting truck.
review
When
forklift
picking up a
incidents
load from ground level
and
with a
like
low
different
lift walkie, line
kind of
your truck up with the
incidents.
center of the load and approach it straight on. Slowly move forward until the load is against the load backrest and the front wheels are not on the pallet support but free to lift the pallet. The forks must be at least 2/3 the length of the load. Lift the load. Make sure the load is stabilized.
2/3 the
Check
length
for
of the load.
pedestrians and
Shut up,
potential hazards
dude.
before traveling. When picking up a load from the ground
Just
with a
because it's
masted
2/3 of the
walkie,
length doesn't
line
mean
your
that we'll
truck up
always
with
be
the
able to
center of
pick
the
up the
load
load.
and approach it straight on. Position the forks so they move safely under the load. Move forward until the load is against the load backrest. If your truck is
Yes,
equipped
forklift
with a
fail
reach
accident
mechanism,
completion. Oddly
extend the
entertaining.
forks
Yes.
into the pallet
And we're gonna
until
review
the
them.
load is against the load backrest.
And hell,
Remember,
maybe
the
do
forks
fucking
must
bingo.
support at least 2/3 the length of the load. Lift the load 4 to 6 inches off the ground. If the truck has a reach mechanism that has been extended, make sure the reach is retracted and the load is stabilized. Check for pedestrians and potential hazards before traveling. When placing a load on the floor with a masted walkie, first come to a complete stop. Then slowly lower the load. If your truck is equipped with a reach mechanism, extend it to place the load. Once the load is in position, continue lowering the forks until the pallet is on the ground. The forks must be low enough to clear the load without catching on the pallet as they are being pulled out. Then retract the extend mechanism. To remove a load from a high stack or rack with a masted walkie, first stop directly in front of the stack. Make sure the forks are lined up with the stack. The forks should be spread so that they are as far apart as possible for the load you're about to lift. When spreading the forks, always push the forks away from you, not
How many
towards
guys
you.
say that looked like a foot or two?
Raise the mast until the forks can safely enter the pallet. Move forward until the
Take
load
a
is
drink every
against the
time
load
he says
backrest.
load.
The forks
Jesus
must
Christ.
support at least 2/3 the length of the load. Make sure the load is stable before you attempt to lift it.
Load.
If the truck has a reach mechanism, retract it. If the forks are longer than the load's length,
It's an iPhone. That's an OtterBox case. It's got to be an iPhone 4. The dump, the weight that has the cargo, the package. No, the load. It's got to be an iPhone 4. It's the iPhone 4S. Shut up. It's the iPhone 4. In fact, this was released the beginning of 2013. So what iPhone released in 2012? Ooh, no, this is a lot different. Oh. Ooh. No, okay. It's not the iPhone 5. So it may be an iPhone 4S, but it's going to be either a 4 or 4S. Reason why I'm saying is because the iPhone 5 had a camera up here. The camera's over here. And also, they wouldn't have gotten their hands on a iPhone 5 until then. Until after this, probably. Are you going to make the other syndicate members forklift certified? If I can. My mom had an iPhone 4S until like 2019. I had an iPhone 4 for I had it for like 3 years, and then we had to get rid of um our phone service that took my phone, so I no longer had it. Are you forklift certified yet? I've been forklift certified. Technically, I'm still certified. It's just that I technically for work have to watch these videos. It's just that here I can make content and make fun of it.
Inch forward until the fork tips are even with the back edge of the load. Lift the load. Look behind you and back out until the load clears the rack or stack. Then lower the load 6 to 8 inches above the floor. Check behind you and always travel in the direction of greatest visibility. Moving with an elevated load is very dangerous, so make sure you lower the load as soon as you clear the rack or
I just
stack.
find that funny.
Make sure
Would you
not
trust
to turn
Midas
the
with a
truck while
forklift
the
license? I
forks are
wouldn't.
raised.
Pixie, I feel
Always
like at
operate with
first
one hand on the
you'd
controls
think.
and walk ahead and to the side of the handle when traveling.
Pixie, I feel like at first you'd think she shouldn't be, and then you'd realize it would be really funny. Let's make it a certification speedrun challenge. Oh, I can certify some bitches, okay? I can certify some people. Just give me a back lot. A rack that is capable, that is roughly 100 feet high with different variations of elevation, of level. Might somehow just fucking kick flip with a forklift. I don't see that. Give me a back lot with some racking and 20 empty pallets. And a pallet of 2x4s. And I will get them certified all within 5 hours. But that it would also help if they already knew how to drive cars, which, if I'm correct, Midas already knows how to drive. I'm not fully sure about Balmy. I think so. And Pixie, I just straight up don't even know. I wouldn't trust her. But give me about 5 hours, I can get them technically certified. Not fully certified. Because there's a difference between certified and being experienced. Because you can be certified very easily. But now the question is, the question isn't, are you certified? It's, how experienced are you? In which I used to work at a place that sold lumber where there were 2x4 pallets that were 4 foot high, 4 foot depth, and 16 feet wide. And I would have to set them bitches all the way up top. Like, the forklift would actually be struggling to move, and the wheels would be bouncing. Have you guys watched the USCBS industrial accident videos? Not yet. That is probably going to be in another stream. Is the difference between a certified and an experienced certified is if they can do a kickflip? Yep. You got it, Taz.
Traveling forward with the load trailing. To place the load on a rack or stack with a masted walkie, approach the rack carefully. Raise the load just above the top of the rack or stack, and then move forward slowly until the load is lined up over the rack or stack. If your truck is equipped with a reach mechanism, extend it. Lower the forks until the load is in
Someone that is
position
just
on the
simply
rack or
certified
stack.
would take a
Lower the forks slightly so that you can back up
16-foot
without the
pallet,
forks catching on the load.
look at a 12-foot
If the
hole,
truck has a reach mechanism,
and say that they
retract it.
can't do anything.
Look in reverse
Experienced
for
forklift
pedestrians
driver
and potential hazards,
would just say, give me a
then
couple
back
minutes.
out carefully to clear the rack. Lower the forks, then proceed at a safe speed with the lift mechanism trailing.
Because I've been told,
Let's now go
hey,
over some
could you help me
important
with
safety rules
this
to
pallet?
follow when
And
operating
I'll just
Class
fully
3
take
lift
over
trucks.
and like just
Motorized
get through.
hand trucks are designed for use on hard, smooth floors.
And by
such as
hole, I'm
concrete
meaning like a doorway.
and on very low grades. They are not intended for operation on grades greater than 10%. So ask your supervisor about grades before traveling on them. Check your operating manual to see
What
if your
grade is this,
motorized hand
flat?
truck can be operated on ramps and inclines. You should never attempt to turn your truck on a ramp or incline. The center of
I would do
gravity
that shit all
can
the time.
be moved outside the stability
Granted, it
triangle,
also
and the
depended
truck
on what I
may
was
tip
using
over.
it with.
Always approach an intersection or cross aisle slowly, keeping an eye out for pedestrians and other trucks. Come to a complete stop and look both ways. Sound the horn and then proceed with caution at a slow travel speed, always maintaining a safe distance between the lift truck and pedestrians and other
Grade
vehicles.
slumpy.
You should also check with your supervisor or company safety director for additional safety procedures for your facility. You may, on occasion, load or unload a trailer or rail car with a motorized hand truck. If so, there are additional safety precautions you must be aware of.
Are you going to tell us?
Make sure the highway truck,
Okay, yep.
trailer, or rail car is secure. This means that the operator should check to make sure the highway truck or trailer brakes are applied and that the wheels are chocked to prevent any movement of the truck or trailer. Fixed jacks may be necessary to support the front and rear of the trailer to prevent it from tipping during loading or unloading. Some trailers are designed with built-in stabilizers. It's important that you make sure the trailer being loaded or unloaded is properly supported and secured before entering it with a lift truck. This is especially
AKA
important
slide
if
the
the trailer
tandems,
has been
slide the
disconnected
tandems
from the
back.
highway truck. Rail cars
If you're wondering what a
should be
tandem is,
disconnected
that's
from
what
the
a tandem
engine
is.
and brakes set.
It's a system
Make sure
where
that
the
dock
wheels
and
are able to
trailer
go
floors
back
are
and forth
level enough to allow the truck to enter and exit the trailer
for short
without
distance and long
interference.
distance trucking.
Then check that the trailer floor is strong enough to bear the weight of the loaded lift truck. Check for cracks, breaks, and weak spots. Make
And
sure
also
the
just
dock
general
board is secured and
support
in
for the
good
trailer.
working condition. Also check that the dock board capacity can support the lift truck and its load. If operating a high lift walkie, make sure the trailer or rail car is tall enough to allow for the height of the mast. If the mast on your truck is not equipped with free lift capabilities, you must be especially careful.
You must be
Although the trailer
especially
may be
careful.
tall enough to accommodate the mast when it is down, you'll have to make sure that the mast does not begin to extend into the top of the trailer or rail car when raising the forks.
Oh,
Here
I'll
are
bust
some
through that roof.
guidelines when working in a freight elevator.
Can I skip?
1, 2, leave with the truck. Enter slowly.
I don't
the
care about
parking
the
brake
freight
load
elevators.
first. Must use an approved safety platform.
I don't care about the safety
The
platforms.
floor.
I don't care about the safety
Be sure the
platforms. This is the
platform is
fourth time we're hearing about it.
Lift properly. Before allowing anyone to get on the platform, apply the parking. The operator must remain at procedures. When our program, let's briefly go over a few parking procedures. The operator must remain at the controls.
This is our fourth time hearing this shit.
Before concluding this portion of our program, let's briefly go over a few parking procedures. When parking, bring the truck to a complete stop. If you are operating a high-lift walkie, fully lower the carriage and forks. If the truck is equipped with the tilt function, tilt the mast forward until the tips of the forks touch the ground. If it has a reach attachment, make sure the forks are retracted. Make sure the controls are in the neutral position and return the handle to the vertical position to apply the brake.
Only one your mom
Turn the key
freight
to the
elevator
off
at a
position
time. Yep.
and remove the key. Never park your lift truck so that it limits access to fire aisles, stairways, and fire equipment. If you are parking a high-lift reach or straddle truck on an incline, place blocks on the downside of the wheels so that the lift truck cannot move. This concludes the classroom portion of your Class 3 lift truck operator training. Remember,
Yay!
lift trucks are powerful, unique industrial equipment and can become dangerous if operated by an untrained operator. If you have questions about the proper operation of your lift truck, refer to the operating manual that's supplied with your truck. Now, your trainer will lead you in the practical training portion of this program. Listen to your trainer and ask questions if you don't understand any part of the program.
Okay, real quick.
If you have questions about the
I want to note. And it's kind of annoying me the entire time, but not really. But it's something I'm focusing on now. Yale logo. Okay. Yale logo. They could easily have a picture where the white extends all the way out to the bezel. Or, I guarantee you, even with this modern, like, it's not a modern iPad. It is an older iPad, but they could zoom into this and have it expand to the entire screen. But also, on top of there being Yale logo right there and Yale logo right there, are they literally just flexing that they have a fucking iPad? I have a feeling they're just flexing that they have a fucking iPad.
and ask questions if you don't understand any part of the program.
Same thing for the iPhone. Are they literally just flexing that they have an iPad and an iPhone? It's kind of a similar thing involving the TV and the fucking laptops that they've been showing. Are they just flexing that they have shit? I fully believe they are just straight up flexing. Tell me I'm wrong. Try to tell me I'm wrong. Truly the height of opulence. But, hey. Guess what, guys? Additional resources. I'm dumb. I could have had this shit fucking full screen. But oh well. Oh well. Y'all got to see how long we had left along this bottom bar. So I don't really care. they're sure that they put the exact minimum limit for showing the company logo into the video. But guess what? Give me my fucking DVD back. Close that. That is the end of the DVDs. That is the end of my obligation to my work. That's technically the end of my obligation to you guys. But now, apparently, let me fucking open up another tab. People have handed me a video. I do not know if it's safe to show. But let's see here. I like how I pull up this video and I see in YouTube recommended this stream. Okay. When will you pass out the test? The test is in the Discord. In fact, we'll look. Oh, well, no, fuck. I guess I could crop it out because it pulls it up in Microsoft Edge, which is, yeah, I can just fucking crop it out. We'll just look over the test. So let me fucking just add media source, browse. No, it's actually not a media source. I don't need that. Remove. Application audio capture. Fuck. Window capture. There's this thing. Wall. Just for the sake of this video. Okay. So I don't know, like, if I'm actually allowed to show this. Kind of like, are you going to make a forklift certified role in the Duder Den? Maybe. I don't know. You gotta prove that you're forklift certified though. Because this is just the digital test. You have to actually physically drive. Okay. So people have handed me this. Okay. Which I'm gonna cut the audio in half. In which I don't know. I've never seen this. But apparently it's really funny. I'm hoping I don't get banned or anything. And again, I mean, it's on YouTube, so Shouldn't be that bad. And what does a good forklift truck driver do at the very beginning? They are supposed to inspect the load that and the task that they are about to do. You do not just walk into a job site and get on a forklift. Unless you know what you're doing. Basically warning others, saying, hey, watch out for forklifts. This is not a safety training video for forklift drivers. This is a safety training video for people around forklifts. Tokyo Claws, Too Fast, Too Furious. I will admit, like I've talked about fucking just having people on the forklift. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to her about this. I'm gonna have to talk to someone about this. After he should have put the pedal on the forks. So this guy's about to do something real. Yeah, I know. I'm telling them about this right now. Okay. Okay. Destination close. What's German for dumbass got smashed? Oh no, let's see her. Well, I should have used this one. And wait. English to German. Copy. I actually think you were close. Let me hear it.
Der Idiot wurde zerschlagen. Der Idiot wurde zerschlagen.
Der Idiot wurde schlagen. Der Idiot wurde schlagen. Klaus about to make free healthcare expire for the country. Bro, fucking Klaus is ruining everything, dude. Does it actually show anything? Wait, what the fuck? I like how you can clearly see this dude is literally just crouched down. Like that's his knee. You can see his knees. Remove. Remove. One second. Somebody just knocked at my door. All right, cool. It was one of my neighbors asking me something. It's like, ooh. They were seeing if, they were checking like the date and time involving something. And it's like, that's you. Like, I'm like, y'all can do whatever you need to. Or I don't know. Fucking bullshit to me. Walker, I see you retracted the message. What did you retract, buddy? Let me pull shit up. Hold up. Let me fucking, gonna fucking, oh, I wanna copy. We're gonna fucking paste this shit. We're gonna fucking draw this shit out. We're going big with this, boys. Because this is towards the end. Okay. Killer claws. The fuck was that? Horror theme forklift safety? Yes. It was great. Yeah. Misspelled word. Oh. It's kind of neat, but I don't know if that taught forklift safety. It shows some of the dangers, but otherwise, not really. Quick type slurs while he's gone. Slurs, slurs, slurs. Okay. Hand trucks are better than forklifts. I beg to differ. Is there Amish forklift certification videos? I don't think there's Amish forklift certification. They don't even know what forklift certification is. They probably know what forklifts are. Then again, it also depends on what colony you're in, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't think there'd be Amish ones. They're not allowed to operate machinery, including video players. There are Amish forklifts. Yeah. I've seen a couple Amish forklifts. Alright, so if you want to look over the training guides and the instructions, all that other fun shit, all of that is actually in the Discord. So, fucking... Let's see here. Ooh. Thanks for the stuff. Yeah. Yeah. For anyone that is just not from the Duderden or anything, as the Discord that's in there, if you go in and you look at my channel, which is known as LMG, I posted all of the training guides and shit that came off of these DVDs. Now, one thing I will note. Oh yeah, we said that we were gonna go over the PDFs. I got shit to do. I won't lie. I got shit to do. Oh shit. Oh my god. So, I'll let you guys figure out what I just saw. But, yeah. So there is something involving the PDFs that I will notify you guys of, because I remember this being in my training back when I first did this shit. And I straight up stopped everyone in the test and I said, hey, the fuck you mean on this? Because there is one question that will confuse you that is not in any of these videos. And that is a question involving when going over railroad tracks. How do you drive over them? If I'm correct, that's actually in it. I've already closed all the fucking questions and everything because it just looks like the exact same document that I've filled out before. So, whenever driving over railroad tracks, how do you drive over them? Do you drive them over them head on, reverse, diagonal, or avoid them entirely? The answer for that is not in any of the videos. But the actual proper way of doing it is diagonally. No, you don't do it straight forward or backwards because you'd bounce. Meanwhile, if you go diagonally, you, depending on the angle that you go for, it'll go over one wheel at a time. And you have way more control. And also go slow. And also, yeah, I should probably... Let me fucking look real quick. Damn. Because I know I don't have this credited, I'm at least going to post a link to them. So the PNG that I'm using is by Alfreya. And that is a link to their Twitter, which then you can see all their commissions and shit. Use more speed for forward. Yeah, 100%. Alright, so at some point, don't know when, at some point we will go over, and I think it's just going to be like a multiple thing. Like, we'll do it at random and shit, but at some point we will, like, start looking at, like, all the different forklift incident videos and shit, and reviewing them and whatnot. Also, I think that they're funny, so it may be worthwhile. What does Mutant Devon look like? You don't want to know. I've shown it off before for other ones but where is it? Where? It doesn't change it. Like, it's just that. It's just that. I've shown it off before for a different PNG that I use, just because I do that because it's funny. Where I have a different picture. Okay, let's see here. Damn, nobody on Twitch. Ain't nobody hanging out over on Twitch. Let's go fucking YouTube, dude. Now, unfortunately, very unfortunately, with YouTube, you are not able to rate people until you hit 1,000 subs. I know what your next update should involve. What's going to be my next update? What should it involve? Yeah, unfortunately on YouTube, you can't rate people until you have 1,000 subs, which I am close. Yes, what do you want it to involve? I am on the edge of my seat awaiting you. The mutant deafened model? See, so the issue with that is, which is not too much of an issue, it's just something that not a lot of people really think about too much. So, like, with this commission, it came with both the open and closed mouth version. But now, if I were to get a mutant deafened version, that would be other versions that I would have to have. So, instead of getting 2 art pieces, I'd have to get 4. So it'd be doubling the commission. But I will say I do have a couple ideas for something in the future, but it is, at least at the current time, nowhere near in the works. Just an idea, and I'm not going to reveal it until it happens. But I have some ideas for some things. But yeah, it is 3 p.m. now. We have been here for 4 hours. A lot fucking longer than I thought we would be doing this. Yeah, thank you everyone for showing up. I'm sorry that I pinged everyone in the Duder Den. But yeah. Next Friday, gonna see especially when forklifts are complicated, especially when this is driving. So next week we're gonna see, because I have a couple games. I have a game that I want to play before October is over. And that game is No, I'm Not a Human. And from what I've seen, I can play it within one stream. But also, we are getting very close. Very, very close to finishing out Red Dead 2. So I think next Friday, for me, Thursday for a lot of you, we'll do No, I'm Not Human, but it also depends on scheduling and shit, because I know that I got friends and shit that want to do shit. But yeah, I'll try to let everyone know in the Discord what the plan is next week. I know for midweek wise, I mentioned a while back that I was considering starting to do midweek streams, but with certain complications and shit with work, this week will probably not be that way. But at some point I do want to start midweek streams. Alright, I'm gonna stop pulling you guys for watch time. It's been over 4 hours. Or maybe I just leave it on. What if I just left stream on? I could easily just mute. Your calc is a human. You should drag the autist to the stream. No. Yeah. Damn. Alright. But for real though, I actually do have a couple things that I need to do before going to bed. So, thank you all for showing up, and I will see you all next week. Be sure to check out the Duder Den for the training guides and the tests and everything. And I shall see you all next week.